Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And special guest...
Marley Silverbrand.
I figured I just let Spencer do it because I
Well,
always
sometimes
fuck
what
it up
happens is like
somehow.
we just run. Somebody gets ran over. It's just like special Marley. It's like,
what did they say first? Yeah, kind of like
just
that.
like fucking Ryan, just fucking walking my line.
Or we can
I
just
never
do
say special guest. That's why I like pause for a second.
Or we could do it like the radio hour, just like coming up next on the 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock hour.
It's 87 degrees in with light sunshine.
Mild traffic down 108. You know.
Oh!
If you're just tuning in,
there goes a deer.
You know, like radio, like DJs, they hate podcasters like us because they're like, oh, they don't reset their guests. And I'm just kind of like, I think I mentioned that on a previous podcast.
I think some radio guys have acknowledged, like, oh, it's just the new thing. But there's some bitter old fucks out there just like they don't have the format, they don't do this because they actually got to time themselves for like keep an eye on the clock. So I guess there is more structure to it and all that.
That's because podcast it's very like freestyle. It really there's like no rules.
The Wild Wild West.
It really is the Wild Wild West, and you know soon people are gonna crack the whip on it like they cracked the whip on everything else.
It's kind of like it's almost kind of like the early '80s, like kind of like early rap, really. You know.
Yeah, there's like there's not
like that's not real music, you know, and then like, oh, now it is kind of like the big thing.
Yeah, now people kind of go like, oh, it is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. But it's been a while since I've been on one.
I know, that's what I was just saying. I was literally going to send you like a text message like 3 days ago. I'm like, when are you going to be on the podcast again? Huh? Like a threatening one, too.
Well, I haven't really seen... It's like, geez, when are you going to be on the podcast? All caps. I'm like, what the fuck, Spencer? Delete.
It would be more threatening if it wasn't like all caps. It was just like, when are you going to be on the podcast? ... You know, like...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of busy. It's like, that's your choice. You know, just make it whole
Well, I haven't really had the chance to see very many movies.
I think that's been a reason, too.
Yeah.
Because if you don't see a movie, it's kind of weird when somebody's on a podcast like, well, we saw a movie, but I know you clearly didn't.
So we saw Star Trek. I didn't see,
I got The Last Stand on Blu-ray.
How's that?
It's just as amazing. It's more amazing than it was in theaters. And it's actually got a lot of special features on it, too. It's got like an hour and a half's worth.
I never had the chance to see that, but
that one was really good.
Yeah.
It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I heard it was kind of mixed because it was like Kim Ji-woon's first American film.
The weird thing too is Kim Ji-woon doesn't speak English, so it was like a Sergio Leone like directing Clint Eastwood kind of thing. No, yeah, like they literally has a translator and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought they would have spoke English by this point. Well,
I thought too. You know,
still made a good flick. I know. I kind of.
Are you kidding me, Ryan?
What?
He learned English from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't.
Not Arnold.
No,
okay, let me break this down for you. We're shooting here in California. That had to be shot in Texas.
That was shot in New Mexico.
New Mexico? Okay, yeah.
It wasn't like
the movie takes
George
place in Arizona, but it was shot in New Mexico.
Who was George Lopez in it or something? I don't know.
Luis Guzman was in it.
Luis Guzman. Wow.
Okay, man, let me tell you how I speak proper American, okay?
Yeah.
Luis Guzman's probably one of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah. He's one of the best parts about just about any movie he's in.
He's always in, like, he's always either kind of like, I want, like, Steve Buscemi and him to star in a movie, because it's never
the star. They're always like supporting cast.
Yeah, and a lot of times Luis Guzman, he'll be like that guy who'll just like walk on and say one or two lines and just leave. Or if he's not that, then he's just a very minor character.
But mostly,
not minor character, supporting character.
I say because a lot of times he's kind of still a big member. He's just not the star.
I just feel terrible because I confused George Lopez and Luis Guzman.
I know Guzman.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, no, but that dude, I really like that actor a lot. He's one of my favorite character actors, probably.
No, yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah.
And like, I want to say this so that I feel, but when I realized that like this dude needs way more respect, I got my arm twisted into watching it with a friend of mine. She showed me, it's one of my most hated fucking movies. There's worse movies out there, but I just fucking hate this movie. He's Just Not That Into You. Of all the parts Luis Guzman could play, he plays like a guy, like a Mexican. He plays a Mexican like yard worker or something like that who has, or not, he plays a carpenter who has 3 lines in the whole movie. It's like,
oh, come on, yeah, you at least give more lines than that.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of rich yuppie white fucks in New York, and it's just kind of like, and just like, come on,
they need yard work in New York.
Not yard work. I said it was carpenter.
Oh yeah, you did correct that.
Yeah, so.
It seems like there's one of those types of movies like every single year. here. At least one.
Just
if
get
not
en-
two.
Just get enough like popular people that everyone will like and throw them in this piece of shit.
Yeah.
I just hate that movie just because it's one of those things. Well, I mean, on top of the thing, everyone's just a bunch of rich yuppie douchebags. Even has actors I like a lot in it, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's it's a movie. It's made for people. It's like, do you live in New York and make over $80,000 a year?
Well, it's one of those things like everybody in it's just they have a part where like they'll everyone like all right. It kind of ultimately says you're a guy. Fuck you. That's ultimately what the movie
Is it
says.
directed by a woman?
I don't know. But the thing
It's
is,
written by Nicholas Sparks, though.
Is it?
No.
who's
not
Nicholas
helpful.
Sparks again?
He's like that freaking tween, like, this writer that writes for, like, tween girls. And
Oh,
stuff
like
that.
all those Notebook bullshit.
Yeah.
And all that? Okay. Well, it's one of those like kind of things like throw like multiple stories that are happening at the same time involving all these fucking rich white people in New York, and it just and they'll have these things like I mean the guys in it are douchebags, but everyone in it is just kind of like really shitty and hard to like for the most part. Like there's a part where like Justin Long, he's like being nice to Amy Adams, and one girl walks into his office later on. He's giving her like advice, like, "Oh, I do this to this guy. This will probably get the guy." This other girl walks into his office, and she's like, "Oh, I just want to say thanks for the other night." Like, "Yeah, whatever. I was drunk. Get the fuck out." She's like, "Oh, by the way, he's the nice, likable guy."
Yeah. See, that's why you need good movies like
That's why we need
Last
Louis
Stand.
Gesman. That's why we need Louis Gesman.
And you need to be firing your Tommy gun off.
Yeah, sorry, I got
in
off
every
topic
movie.
there. I did just talk shit on that fucking movie, even though it's like 4 years later. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
He's older than that, isn't it, by this point?
I don't know. I'd rather not think about
I
it.
don't think it's a movie that people even remember anyways.
Yeah.
Most people are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
He just has this bent up hatred for this movie. Everybody forgot.
But no, Marley, you should see The Last Stand. It was really good.
Yeah, I that's on my list, definitely.
I was talking. I kind of beat it down a little bit on the when we actually saw because I was in the wrong state of mind. But actually thinking back on the movie, it was a pretty good action flick.
I really liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus, it has it has like a lot of that Kim Ji-moon violence in it, like when a dude's
cool.
firing a minigun, like a dude literally instead of just getting shot and falling down like we see in most movies, the guy literally gets split in half.
Is it to the level of The Good, the Bad, the Weird? Because there's some pretty for action and violent scenes. The Good, the Bad, the Weird is like top notch.
Good, the Bad, the Weird, I think is still my favorite movie that I've
Yeah.
seen of his. I still need to see A Bittersweet Life.
It's got about like 5 or 6 movies.
Yeah, he has A Bittersweet Life, and then he has
I Saw the Devil.
I Saw the Devil's Great,
Yeah.
and A Tale of Two Sisters. I still need to see those two. So yeah. But no.
But no, The Last Stand's really good for his American movie.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he does next.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Wonder if he's gonna go back to like another American film or just go back to Korea.
Well, who knows what his experience? Who knows what his experience was in this movie? But it does sound like, now you mentioned, it does sound kind of like a Sergio Leone thing. You think Sergio Leone?
Sergio Leone, he didn't really know English either, so he had a translator.
Did he know English by Once Upon a Time in America?
I don't know. I've never seen special features on that one.
That's the only Sergio Leone movie I haven't seen, aside from his Gladiator film.
Oh, the one that came before
The
Fistful of
dollars, yeah, because apparently you told me that Once Upon a Time in the West, Duck You Sucker, and Once Upon a Time in America,
It's like the next trilogy he did. That's how they described it.
Which I don't
At
really
least the Clint Eastwood book.
I don't really see the connection between that though.
I don't either. So I
Once Upon a Time in the West.
don't think it's supposed to be like this is an exact sequel like Last Time on Duck You Sucker.
Maybe it's just something about like American culture. So, not even American, because Duck
I
You
feel like it's
Sucker.
probably it's maybe like here's one generation, couple generations later, then a couple generations again. Though I don't know how the Jewishness fits into like from Once Upon a Time in the West.
Well, Duck You Sucker is during like the Mexican Revolution, and I believe like early 1900s. So that's that movie takes place and stars an Irish guy who like an Irish guy from So I said Irish guy from Ireland,
Where else do they come from?
But no, and then like James Corbin plays him, and that's a pretty good flick. And then I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in America. That's one I do got to check out. But so I don't see how it makes that
I
connection.
don't know how they connect. I really just want to watch all 3 of them in order just to see if I can notice it.
Once Upon a Time is like kind of the first meta western because they got Peter Fonda to be the bad guy. They got they open up with like those two like all the 3 guys waiting at the train station at the beginning. 2 of them were big actors at the time. It's like, oh, those guys, they just get killed off right away. So yeah, so.
That's a good movie. I've been wanting to watch that one again. I probably haven't seen a movie in like 5-6 years. It's been a long time.
It's all the small things in the movie make it so awesome. Like there's the part when there's the I remember the guy's like I remember the actor's name, but the character his name was Cheyenne. He was like that one bandit guy, and he's like sneaking into like the train. They think they see his boot trying to come through the window, so they're sneaking up to ready to grab the boot, and they get shot in the face. You see, he had his hand in his boot with the gun in it. You know, it's all the small things like that you want to think.
There's
of.
some really cool stuff. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I'll have to check that out. But yeah.
Did you see the Xbox One thing yet, Ryan?
Oh. No, I haven't. I heard it's just called. I know it's called Xbox
Which I think
One.
it's the most retarded fucking name. It's not, when I first saw that, I'm like, was this a joke? Are they talking about like the original Xbox?
This is what I have to say about that. One step forward, 359 steps back.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Zing!
I got it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I really think it's just called the Xbox 720. I mean, I know
720?
that was going to run its course once you started getting up to like the 1,000.
I was hoping it would just be like Xbox 8, like Windows 8.
That could work too.
Xbox
Yeah.
8?
Like Windows 8.
Well,
and
yeah, but that's
Windows
still
Phone
confused.
8.
That wouldn't make any sense, though. It's going to be like Xbox 3.
Xbox One doesn't
yeah.
make any sense either.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes no sense, too. I think I always thought PlayStation had the right thing. They just call it like a numeral. Like
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Or they could just call it Xbox. Because I think that the brand is pretty much embedded into our
The
society.
Xbox, maybe.
Yeah,
But you gotta
Or
have
just-
it. You gotta have it so you know what you're looking for. Because if you're gonna type that online, if you just type Xbox, and you're gonna get out like the other two systems.
The
too.
next one's gonna
Yeah.
be the other Xbox. You know. So.
Yeah, the newer Xbox.
The Xbox, the other Xbox. You know what would come after
Hopefully
that?
they fix that name because a lot of times they come out with a name and then they change it like the last second.
like
With the
Nintendo.
dolphin.
Nintendo Revolution.
The
Why
Revolution
did
was
they
a
stay?
much
That was a
better
code
name.
name.
Why didn't they stay with the Revolution?
That's
Well,
what
the
they
thing-
should at least call the Wii U that.
Even though I like the Wii, it's still that Revolution sounds like a big talk up. It's gonna be the Revolution. What do we got for it? We got a lot of shitty. We got a lot of shitty $20 like fourth party games. You know, not even like games that you probably
Not even third party.
yeah, not even third. Fucking
Beyond
fourth.
third party.
Yeah.
We made this in a garage. We figured we'd sell it to Mom and Pa in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
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 But no, well, what about Xbox? Is that all there is to it? I heard something
Well,
like
it's the new Xbox.
the new Xbox. Did you hear
more
any new
than-
one?
You have to be online at least 24.
No,
it has
you
to be connected online.
You don't have to be connected 24/7. Did it say that? I
Yeah.
didn't read that on the thing I said.
That's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
It has to connect to internet at least one time, like per day.
Well, then that's gonna. I feel like they're gonna lose a lot of sales because of that. Cause
Well, I said before we started recording, Nintendo's sales actually went up 875%. Like when I first looked at that number at Amazon, I was just like, did they forget to put like a decimal point somewhere in there? But like everyone's like buying Wii U's now because they don't like the PS4 and they don't like Xbox One.
The only thing about the Wii U, I just had this fear is by the time PS4 and Xbox, I'll just call it Xbox 3. Fuck Xbox One.
Xbox 3.
By the time those ones come out, I just feel the Wii, it's going to have that same problem again with the Wii had, where it's just going to be like one step behind everybody else.
That's what Nintendo.
Now, I mean,
has out-
Nintendo really, they rely off their own games, because that's kind of how it is. It's like, Nintendo can have like a one step behind system, but their games, it's kind of like the PSP and the DS. What's better?
DS.
DS,
Yeah.
I always thought so. I mean, PSP, I thought it, like, in the long run, it made itself good.
No,
but-
the Vitas actually have some pretty good games on it.
Well,
It's
yeah, the
just
Vita
way
does
too
too,
expensive.
but what do you think's better, though, the Vita or the 3DS?
3DS.
Yeah, exactly.
The PSP, I still like that. I still have one, but I played my DS more and all.
Well, yeah, it's like,
yeah.
I love my PSP, don't get me wrong, but the DS always just had better games.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what he means, like, graphics don't always do it. The only thing kind of sucks, though, is Nintendo's going to get screwed over with their third party, as they always have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like EA has literally came out and said they're not developing any games for.
Konami said they're going to back down from some of their projects, too.
Yeah, I think they're only just saying that because it's not selling right now. Because
EA is also a bunch of fucking cores anyway.
Yeah, and well, EA is such a major like publisher. I know they just like publish sports
like
games,
it's just,
but it's just
yeah.
like,
well, they publish more than that. They publish like everybody nowadays.
yeah, and it kind of scared me a little bit.
They
because
publish Japanese games.
It kind of scared me a little bit because when the Dreamcast came out, I believe EA actually dropped out. Like when the Dreamcast wasn't really selling all that well or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And
I can see that.
Even though
I don't know.
Sega mostly has their own thing. Well, I think it's kind of stupid though. Is EA made it so like that only they can make football games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking retarded.
Well, they can only do like NFL license. Everybody else can.
Well,
do
yeah,
like,
they can do it. Yeah, but who's gonna buy a game that's not like an NFL?
I remember
or
when they
NCAA
tried.
one?
I didn't play it, but I remember when they like the company Blitz, since they didn't have like NFL property anymore, they like we got to make it like edgy and dark. They had like a story mode about corruption in this fictional football league.
Are you
and
talking about the new one that's out now?
Yeah.
what was it? This one? Unless they came out with another one. This one came out. Probably I want to say my senior year of high school or something.
But
it was
they
like
made a new one.
Yeah, they
another
did.
one. They made another one. Well, I know that the one.
I think EA published it actually, which is actually really
like no, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, no, I remember so that like, a lot of people were like, like, well, we don't have all the teams and players people love, but we can come up with some controversial story about corruption and football and whatever.
Any
and,
Given Sunday didn't have any teams you knew.
yeah.
You like that, right?
I think I think I actually remember that game. It's actually called Blitz the League.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And
And I
like
wanna
I remember like
say-
these cutscenes of like a guy actually like injecting steroids into their ass or something like that.
Well, it's like something like I think you were given the option, I never played it, but you were given the option your characters can shoot up, but you'd have to be careful because if you shoot up too much,
They, like,
it
die.
could fuck you up or could could lower your stats or something like
Yeah.
that.
Or
Or you
the
could
game
get
had a mature
caught.
rating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the only football game to
I
mature
wonder
rating.
how that would blow over in today's society. Just like with all the steroid like controversy.
People
with
could probably
Lance Armstrong.
Well, I feel like
just,
that game kind of was still that same. I mean, the steroids. Like people have had a problem with steroids since like 1991. So.
Well, it hasn't been that big of a problem since Lance Armstrong won like I don't know like freaking.
Well, that's
12
not just the new
rounds,
one though, but
and
I
then-
mean, it just kind of it's been repeating itself ever
Yeah.
since. It's been like a problem, then it goes down, and then a problem.
I think people are more scared now because like like what the fuck do you Americans got? Well, we got Lance Armstrong, and now it's kind of like, oh well, never mind.
Very well, very.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
Mark McGuire, fuck.
We still got Michael Jordan.
We got that
We
bullet
got
guy
you.
I saw on ESPN. Oh wait, never mind. He does coke.
We got Wayne Gretzky. Fuck, he's Canadian. So
We don't have anybody.
yeah, so I'm sure we do if we look long. I guess we got Joe Montana.
Yeah, we always get Joe Montana.
Joe Montana. And
He's all American.
Uriah Faber, UFC.
UFC.
If you watch UFC, never mind.
I don't even.
It's just
keep
like
up
this
with
really
sports.
quiet, like
UFC's just kind of like UFC's like, all right, bald head, shaved guy, like shaved bald head guy going against.
shaved bald head Mexican guy. Yeah, that's always like it's like shaved white haired guy going white haired guy.
White dude always has an Irish name. Mexican guy always has a name like Rodriguez or Garcia.
I just know his name because he's like a local kid. He like grew up in
okay.
Sacramento, so
What was his name?
I like a
Uriah
local like
Faber.
Sacramento.
What?
Like a local Sacramento.
yeah. Well,
We're
California.
Same area code. No, that's not the same area
No,
code.
it's-
No, it's not.
that's
It's
what that's
6-4.
916.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other,
get
the
your
other
area
man
codes
knows,
right.
Fuck you, Ryan. I got my area codes right.
he knows that shit.
So I've been playing Dark Moon, Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah, I played a little bit of it at Cisco's house.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll sit back for a second. Here you go.
You played Luigi's Mansion 1, right, Ryan? Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah.
That's all he needed.
Yeah.
You played the Luigi's Mansion.
It's
I had it
pretty
for
good.
the game crew.
I feel like this like Dark Moon is like it's what they really intended Luigi's Mansion to be like. Because if you play like the GameCube version, like it's still a good game, but it was like essentially a tech demo. And like Dark Moon, like what
That
you
was
just whoa.
I have
I don't
my
think that
elbow on my
picked up
desk.
on the
You just
microphone,
elbowed
but
that fucking Arnold
Ryan
Palmer.
just injured himself, and now he's bleeding out on the ground. No.
But I will man it up.
Well, here's this thing about Luigi's Mansion. Like, see, I did the poor man thing. I went
3-hour
back and played
podcast.
Luigi's Mansion 1. But this is the problem I kind of saw when I played that game, though, is I thought the controls were kind of weird. Just for the whole point of Luigi's Mansion 1 was the dual joystick thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was like, oh, okay, there's not a second joystick, and I don't think you can use the extra circle pad on that
No,
one.
you can't. I don't think so.
Because the Science Nintendo's kind of weird like that. Like, we have the circle pad.
They
Well, we
never
don't want
use
you
their
to-
accessories.
Only like Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil and Monster Hunter going to use that thing.
yeah.
Smash Brothers.
No.
No.
Circle pad?
No. The little
For
circle
the
pad
3DS?
Pro. Thing.
Oh, I'm thinking. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm thinking the
GameCube
GameCube
still?
controller. Yeah.
Yeah.
The C stick.
Well, you know how like in Luigi's Mansion though you use both joysticks, right?
Yeah.
And the one for the 3DS, you don't have both joysticks. So like you have to like suck in one direction and then you start strafing.
Yeah.
Or blow.
Suck in one direction.
You can also blow in one direction too.
Luigi is back and he's sucking and blowing.
Well, Cisco also told me that they didn't have like the kind of like the fire or the ice and the water thing in it too. They took that out.
They took it out, but
He said that was really dumb. They did because
I don't know. I feel like it's really well balanced. Like there's different types of ghosts, and like the animations are really cool. Like, did you see the animations from what you played?
I only played it for about 5 minutes.
I don't know. I think like
I feel like I don't want to get too involved. It's not my game.
I'm about 75% like through the game, and like I've had a smile on my face throughout the whole time just because it's like it's so charming, and like Luigi like whistles like the theme song as he walks through like.
Well, I love Luigi's Mansion 1. I thought that was a really amazing game.
Yeah, and there's multiple mansions in this one too.
That's cool. That's what I heard too. There's multiple.
And there's like I think there's an ice world. There's like an
Egyptian world or something.
Yeah,
I saw like a screenshot of that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it.
I'm surprised it took them this long. You know, people would have bought it.
It's set up in a portable fashion too because it's mission based too. So you can play like 2 missions and put it away.
Put it away. Even though like the one thing I always loved, and this goes with like the first DS, such a small feature, but I always thought this was like the coolest thing. You just close the screen.
Yeah.
And, you just let it sit there. And then when you want, flip it back open, and you're playing again.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound. I mean, nowadays like that kind of happens with a lot of things, but back then it was like, oh man, you have to start it back up.
Yeah.
Let it go through like the title screen, then load up, and then play. It's like no, I just fucking whip back into it.
Phantom Hourglass. That's actually like a gameplay element where. Do you remember that part where he
I didn't
has
play
like
Phantom Hourglass.
he had like a map and and you had to place it to print the map or something like that, and they tell you to close the 3DS or the DS, and you open it up and like the map is like.
The first time when I like got a DS and I was playing Mario 64 DS and I just closed it for a second and like I was bye bye. I'm like, oh, brave new world, just
blow my mind again.
Yeah, it was just the smallest thing like that. Just the smallest thing like that. Mario saying bye is you close the DS.
It was like it's a little personal
touch.
Is if you leave it alone long enough, he's like, you want to play the game again? It just starts asking you, calling you from the other room or something.
One of my friends, he actually did like a little short film about that, where he actually closed the DS and said goodbye, and he did a little short film of like Mario just saying, "Play me now," and he's like, "No, I don't want to play you," and then it ended like with him like getting beat up by the DS. And just like Mario's just like, play me now.
I will skull fuck you if you don't play me now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I haven't got a new DS game in a while. Last new DS.
What was the last 3DS game you got?
I mean, that's what I mean. The same fucking thing.
Not really, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you say like you don't always say Xbox 360 when you say I got a new Xbox game. But it's I want to
Mario
3D
Land 2.
Mario Land,
Mario Land 2,
3D Land?
but New Super Mario Brothers 2.
New Super Mario Brothers 2. I'd say was the last game I got for
Oh,
it.
you got that game?
I did, yeah.
Do you like it or?
I like it. Same old, same old. It's not anything really risky or new, but it's Mario. It's 2D and it's fun. But that's I'm kind of at the point when the first two they did. I was like, this is really cool. Now I'm at the point where it's
I feel like they're kind of playing
they're
it safe, like a little too safe.
Yeah, because it was cool. Because it was the first 2D Mario game we got in a long time. It had 3D graphics, had some of those same elements we liked from other Mario games. And second time around, that's cool. Third time around, oh, that's cool. By fourth time, it's like, all right,
guys.
I'm sure it's a great game, but can we work on like the next 3D Mario game that's not in space? I mean, I like Mario Galaxy.
I was talking to like the Cisco, but like really the last like full on really feeling Mario game, I feel was still Mario 64 though.
Yeah.
Because even though I love Mario Galaxy, don't get me wrong, but it kind of takes place like it's like Mario in like an alternate dimension, and when it really gets down to it.
Yeah, because where's his freaking space helmet? How is he breathing in space?
He's Mario. See, well, here's the thing though.
Mario's got to be Italian.
It's not Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog needs to breathe underwater, but Mario doesn't. Yeah. He fucking breathes through that shit.
Yeah.
They're blue. When you were a kid, that was that fucking weird that you're like, okay. I remember because I played Sonic before I played Mario, and I was all. When I saw Mario, I'm like, well, where the fuck's the air bubbles? I mean, like, it's like, oh no, he doesn't need to. I'm like, that's fucking weird.
No, when I first played Sonic, so I played Mario first. I was like, okay. Then I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, you're running around, and you realize, oh, the bubbles, right?
Speaking of Sonic, like, they had like a latest Nintendo Direct, and like Nintendo announced that they're like have like a partnership with Sega, and they're working on the next Sonic game. It's like Sonic Lost World.
That's smart, I'll say.
And it's like, I believe they're using the same engine as Super Mario Galaxy, so it's not going to be an on-rail Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be kind of interested to see what that development team does.
I'm interested in any new Sonic.
Well, I'm interested to see what the
It
development...
doesn't mean it's going to be good, but I'm always interested in seeing what's coming next.
It's almost kind of like J.J. Abrams coming in directing Star Wars. Is what this is right here.
Well, like,
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, like,
actually.
because you got the two heads, like Sonic or Mario,
Yeah.
and you got like one team from like the other going,
I just want to see it that you beat Sonic Lost World, and at the very end, Sonic rips off like his head and it's Mario underneath.
starts thrusting towards the camera. Fuck you, Sega fans.
You've just been playing a Mario game this whole time.
Yeah.
Suck my Italian dick.
Suck my blue Italian dick. See? Because I'm Sonic, bitches.
From now on, they just like Sega just totally like just rapes the Sonic franchise. Just stick Mario's head on Sonic's head instead, just to fucking piss off all the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
That actually pissed me off right there, but I don't know. I'm at this point.
My bad.
and as a Sonic fan, I've kind of come to the realization for a while. I was like, no. I mean, it has this problem, has that problem, but could still be a good game. A lot of the games now I'm at the point like, no, Sonic, I don't care. Sonic Unleashed is bullshit. Sonic 06 is bullshit.
What about Sonic 4?
Sonic 4 is good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Sonic 4 Episode 2 is extremely amazing.
Sonic 4 is good. They're now at the point where they're actually, okay, we got the right idea of how to go about these and what to do. Sonic Colors, I don't think the level design is all that great in the game. I think the concept...
The gameplay is fine.
The gameplay is fine. The level designs are bad. And just the background and art direction, like, let's make it take place in space with cute, cuddly aliens. Fuck you.
The music's too kiddie, too.
Yeah, the concept and look of it's too kiddie. I'm just like, God.
I think that's what Nintendo can contribute. They can contribute good level designs because that's what they do for Mario games. So
I think that Nintendo, the only thing with Nintendo is even though I love Nintendo, they got to get their shit out there faster. Cisco said that before, but he's right. They just got to get their games. They got to make.
Well, that's one thing. Nintendo are really they will just kind of keep you hanging for a long time.
Well, if you notice, like, it takes them a while to come out with games.
They're always good though.
They're always good and they're never buggy.
Well, because
they're
that's the
buggy.
thing about like Sonic though is like Sega. I think they pump the games out. Like really, if you probably took an extra year on any of those Sonic games, they might actually be better.
Exactly.
Sonic games generally,
as long as they don't have the weird werewolf element or something like that.
I feel like Sonic Team and Sega just don't really know what to do with Sonic anymore. And
I can tell you. I can tell you what to do. It's very simple. Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Only fast characters. Keep the story limited, and just have a decent level design. Or you want to be more edgy. Want to be more use the engine from Sonic Colors. Just give it a decent level design. That's all you got to do.
Just make it feel
Did you like Sonic Colors or
strictly in the sense of the gameplay? I liked it, but every once in a while you come to this level where it was just poorly designed, where I gotta stop and wait for this stupid little elevator shit. I gotta do,
Well, that's the last thing you want to do with Sonic, because Sonic's not about platforming.
Yeah, they would add in like platform elements here and there, where you have to wait for this elevator to go up, and you have to just walk left and right and dodge like these slow, just things like that. But overall, the gameplay, just strictly the engine was good, and it was Sonic. It felt like Sonic for the most part. It's just when they suddenly
it's the music and the level design, though.
It was just the overall feel of the game. It's the we wish we were Mario Galaxy with cute cuddly aliens, and then the level design, and then like every level he'd get an alien, it would give him like, oh, I could get spiky and go roll up this wall now, or I'll turn into a laser and go through these beam things and send me there faster. Just stupid shit like that.
Do they even play test these? Like,
I
send
think
them out to,
I really think what they're doing.
Well, they're not like they're buggy. It's just
Sonic.
I think that's
06 was buggy as fuck.
For example, like I think if they play tested
Sonic
Sonic Unleashed, everyone would say that the dark levels suck ass and say that the day levels are awesome.
Even the day levels, even though I like the day levels generally, there were moments they were buggy and they kind of fucked up a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But overall,
which version did you play?
The Wii.
Okay.
But still, Unleashed. I mean, that's one of those things. That's probably my most hated Sonic game, and I'll say, the day levels fun.
But that almost makes it worse sometimes when you give me something good and then you give me something absolutely horrible.
Now I know this is kind of like beating a dead horse, and actually beyond
beating this like 8-year-old in the ground dead horse.
Well, actually, not just that, but like it's like I know I'm gonna use a different example, like Wreck-It Ralph. If they did not have all these characters we loved in the game, we'd probably like, oh, it's just another kids movie. Who gives a shit? But the fact they actually threw in all this stuff you liked, threw it in the first 10 minutes, and then never came back to it, and just used that so they can use it in the trailer to get guys like us to go see that piece of shit. It makes that movie so much worse. In fact, the movie started off, first 20 minutes were good.
Yeah, and that I always think that's one of the worst things you can do.
More Wreck-It Ralph.
If it was bullshit, I know it's kind of like it's beyond beating a dead horse. It's Necronomicon that shit and beating it again.
Because you keep seeing stupid shit like in magazines, TV shows, like, oh, I love Wreck-It Ralph, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, clearly, one, I would never trust your movie opinion on anything else now. I mean, I know that if you're like a gamer, it probably doesn't like affect you as much, but I'm like, no. Take away all the video game-ness, and it's still an annoying movie.
It's just
one of those because it was a Disney movie, and people were entitled to like everything that Disney.
Well, sometimes Disney, I think people have this thing. It's like, well, it's Disney. I like kind of have to like it.
We had a teacher like that. He's a really cool teacher. We had a history teacher. His room just coated in Disney shit. All right, now let's watch a scene from Saving Private Ryan. You know, so you remember that guy?
Yeah.
He was pretty cool guy.
It's like one's like, you know that's DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Not in my house, it isn't. It's like he edits in like the Walt Disney logo.
Well, he would do a
DreamWorks
lot of.
Comes up, he grabs out a piece of paper, writes out Disney, and then tapes it on the screen.
He would often like show. The dude obviously loved Disney, but he would show like clips from movies, like historical stuff. But every once in a while, to get a hint of like what time was like back then, he'd show a Disney cartoon from the 40s or from the 20s for a history lesson. And it's really just kind of, when you look back now, it's like, it was kind of silly, but whatever. It was.
That's good. It kind of keeps it fun, though.
Yeah, it kept it fun. I learned stuff in that class, but I remember more about Disney than I do the history class, but regardless.
Now, Marley, did you ever play Sonic 4 Episode 2?
No, I downloaded the trial of Episode 1.
Okay, now
so
Episode 1 it's not bad. It's one of those games, like, it could be a little bit better, and I kind of wish it wasn't kind of like a partial remake of just, like, old Sonic stuff.
It was kind of like New Super Mario Brothers for the fourth time.
Yeah, that's what it really was. It was just like New Super Mario Brothers, but with Sonic. Now, Episode 2, though, like, it blows your fucking mind. It's like the real sequel that you've probably been wanting since, like, Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, wow.
That's how good it is.
That's cool.
And they really, and all the new features they put in there, it's like, that's fucking perfect. Like, Sonic and Tails, like, they have these, like, co-op moves that they can do, which, like, you know, that makes perfect sense. You jump in the air, and, like, you press, like A or something like that, and then Tails will, like, fly you across. Or you're in the water, and Tails can swim you up. Well, just all the moves he's done in the games.
Can you buy, like, all those episodes all at once now?
I bought mine separately, because I bought them at the same time, but you probably can't.
Well, should I just play Episode 2, is that what you're saying?
Here's the upside. I would play Episode 1 if you like Sonic enough. If you just want to play just like one Sonic one, you can stick with Episodes 2 and start there, and then if you really feel like it, then get the first one. Okay. The kind of cool thing, though, if you do own the first one, though, in Episode 2, you can play as Metal Sonic in like some of the Episode 1 levels. Yeah. So it's like a little special feature for buying both of them.
That's awesome.
Cool. It's kind of cool. Yeah. It's different.
Well, so what do you think of Sonic, or what's it called? Sonic Racing All-Star Sega Team?
I've never played it. It's a spin-off racing game.
It's like they're trying to be.
I heard it's supposed to be actually pretty good though, because they say it's like very on par with Mario Kart, and it does some things that Mario Kart doesn't even do.
Yeah. But I just prefer Mario Kart.
I heard it's kind of like Diddy Kong Racing too, so where you get like different vehicles.
Yeah, but I just prefer Diddy Kong Racing.
I prefer Sonic over Diddy Kong because Sonic. I mean,
the one I think is kind of cool is you can play as like other Sega characters in it, which I think that's kind of cool.
Like like shit like Rio from Shenmue and all that, and the Virtua Fighter guys.
Yeah.
I would just like to see a sequel to that game, and then Mario makes like a guest star. It's just like they're just trying to get people to buy like a freaking Sonic game.
Why did we?
They're just make the Sonic versus Mario crossover.
Or what if they just like? Why the fuck did we? Who fucking invited Mario? Well, he's technically the landlord, so he invited himself. Really?
Nintendo bought Sega, so
we aren't that far. Well, I don't think who knows? They might. I don't know how. Maybe Sega does a lot better in Japan.
See, I think Sega's doing a lot. I think the thing about Sega though is like we still think of them kind of like making kind of like crappier games sometimes with like some of the Sonic games. But here's the thing though: is like they still make a lot of money off those Sonic games because they do so many of them. And there's just enough people out there that buy them, and I think that's why they release them so fast, is because they know they can make a quick buck off Sonic every single time.
Yeah, if more people buy Sonic, that means they can publish more Bayonetta games. So
Yeah.
and yeah,
I never played Bayonetta.
I never did either.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, there goes Marley.
no, that's good.
He's fucking slams the door. He's like, oh, he actually is going. Gets in the car, fucking peels out.
You got it.
Like knocks over your trash cans.
Hits like rams into my car a few times, then
Runs
out.
your dog over. Just like, what a fucking asshole.
You got to play Bayonetta. It's probably if you like Devil May Cry, it's everything that you want.
Isn't
Devil May
Bayonetta
Cry.
I do like Devil May Cry.
Isn't Bayonetta the chick with like a big like machine gun or something?
Yeah, she's like she's a witch hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it is just kind of like Devil May Cry, just alternate reality.
Yeah, but it's awesome. And it's going to be
Devil
on
May
Wii
Cry
U.
is awesome.
It's an exclusive on Wii U now, and I kind of want to get a Wii U
that's cool.
when that comes out. So.
I'm glad Wii U really needs those exclusive titles.
Yeah, because there's nothing.
Because
It's
other
really
than New Super Mario Brothers,
They're probably saving some games for E3. The E3 is that happening right now, or did Xbox just come
Xbox
out?
just open their doors and like Washington said, "We
Yeah.
got this."
Yeah.
What, you didn't think we were gonna release something?
fucking huge.
Like Microsoft out, drops the microphone, just walks off stage.
Major Nelson just walks off stage.
Quick question, but then before we go on to the next topic, what was I gonna say? I heard there's a rumor going around. Maybe you guys can clarify it. I read someone said this on Facebook. Could have just been a half-ass internet rumor. Is it true you can't play used games on this next gen?
On the Xbox, what they have is like they're trying to have a way that they're going to profit. Pretty much, they're trying to fuck over GameStop, which is kind of fine with me because fuck GameStop.
Not fuck over GameStop, but fuck over mom and pop shops too.
Well, there's no such thing as mom and pop shops really anymore when it comes to.
There's still
few.
around.
There's a few, but it's like they're almost like so obsolete nowadays. It's like you can't even really say they exist too much.
Well, what are they doing exactly?
Pretty much what they're trying to do is that every like used game sale, and PlayStation and Nintendo are actually on them. Everybody that's selling video games is on the kind of the ball on this one. Is that they're going to get a percentage of that profit. Which
I think you have to pay like a $6 like fee for like used games or something like that. I think
That still sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why everyone's buying Wii U's now.
I mean, I can kind of see the thing that like, okay, if you go to buy a used game and then whatever publisher made that game, like instead of GameStop getting the entire profit of that, like they get like a couple bucks from it because really they're the ones that need the money more than GameStop. Fuck GameStop.
I understand
think what
that.
these companies need to do is they need to like have a meeting with GameStop and just give them like a whole bunch of money and say that we want like these profits to go back to the developers or something like. They need to like buy out GameStop.
Because really, GameStop. So
like
here's the thing: is if GameStop didn't really exist, I mean, if GameStop didn't exist, there'd be some other company that was doing this. But let's just say if there was no company that kind of based their whole sales off used sales. There's including like mom and pop shops because most of those ones are always selling older video games anyways.
I don't think Microsoft cares if the Dan game store like I don't know. I just made that up. But...
Well, here's what I have to say about that. I understand fucking over GameStop, and I'm fine with GameStop. It almost seems like we have to pay for just fucking over GameStop. And I say fuck you to that. If I go to like a used record store and I buy like Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, it's used. That money doesn't go to Virgin. Virgin doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, other. I mean, I know the record companies...
Well, here's the thing, though, is like, making an album compared to making a video game is a ginormous profit difference.
I know that's a ginormous profit difference, and I get that. But at the same time, you're punishing us by punishing GameStop. That's what I'm saying. I'm fine with fucking over GameStop. Find a way around it. My thing is what?
This is leading into your rant about what we saw at when we went to go see the movie that we were going to talk about later.
Well, first let's just finish this topic.
I know, but you can lead into that. So
because like, well, here's the way that I kind of look at it, though. It's like this. I always saw if anything, whether it comes to music, whether it comes to a movie or a video game or even a book. If you really like something, buy it new because that's just saying like, hey, I love this album or I love this game. Please make another one, and that's what you're doing by buying it brand new.
And I support that, but sometimes
but now there's some games too that like it's like one's like you don't have the money for it. It's like it's not the most important thing because you can only spend so much money in life.
Yeah.
Then that's where you kind of buy used stuff.
And not everyone is a collector, and games usually take around like maybe 2 or 3 days to beat, and then they trade them back in, and then that game goes back on the used shelf, and then people like us that don't have money, they go to the used shelf and get a new, like a recently released game for like a fraction of the price.
Yeah, because you save like an extra like $7. And
Yeah.
You're like, well, it's the $7.
I understand that like more money in production goes into a video game than a CD or a book. I get that. It's just one of those things. Still, regardless, it has no effect on me. It's my money that's going into buying this thing. Why should I have to pay the price for what this other entity is doing? That's
Well,
what I'm
GameStop
saying.
used to have a problem because they used to push the used games more than they pushed the new games, and if you notice, they've stopped doing that. Just like a lot of other things they used to push.
They don't push because before they twist your arm, when there's the guy in the Red Dead Revolver T-shirt
Who literally disappeared the second that game came out.
It's like I think he was fragmented. Just in
probably-
reality,
they
from
probably
the game.
they probably made one of those guys for each GameStop. They're like, here's a Red Dead Revolver guy. He'll wear this T-shirt for the next 30 days, and he will push that game to its limit.
He was
The
kinda,
second the game comes out, he will evaporate.
Yeah.
You'll have to use a dustbuster to get him out of there.
call Luigi in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice
no,
callback.
He was like,
From
well,
30 minutes ago.
well, it was weird because he was like this guy. Because the way he looked is he was like this. He had it was just weird. It was almost like, is this guy human? He had like a slender frame, yet he had kind of a gut and man tits at the same time. If that makes any sense.
And then he had like a beard.
He had like this.
Or scruff. I don't know
He
what
had
you
kind of
call
a scruff. It was always the same, like always. He had to manicure that shit, and he had like long ass hair. I'm like, this is the perfect clone to sell Red Dead Redemption. Every time we went in there, like the guy would just try and twist our arm for any game, and he just almost like corner us, like, "Hey guys, want to buy like Halo Reach or whatever?" No, I'm good. If you buy the special edition, you get like a statue of Master Chief and a graphic novel, and it's only like $200 fucking bucks. You know, it's just like, dude, no.
I
No.
don't give a fuck.
It's like,
I just wanna play
Halo's
the fucking
fine.
game.
I don't like it that much, though.
We'd be talking like, "Oh, dude, when's the
And
new?"
then they'd double team you, too. Like, they like push you in the corner, and then there'd be like a fat guy that would jump in and be like, what do you mean? What, you don't want Halo? What, you fucking pussy?
Yeah.
What, faggot?
Yeah.
Faggot?
He's pushing you,
Like, dude, calm down.
slapping you around a little bit.
I don't even know.
Pre-order that goddamn game now.
I don't even want to know what goes on in the back room when the GameStop manager goes back there. He's probably like has like a bunch of people that won't pre-order games like in cages. And he's like whipping them. It's like, you will pre-order now.
If they don't like sell the I think that maybe they just live back there. They're just like this little IV that goes to the back of their neck. They just like drop down dead. They just like drop down dead till like their next shift. You know? This genetic material is all they need to sustain until this game comes out. You know?
They have a 30-day lifespan.
And then when new consoles come out, they're like version 2.0 GameStop employees.
You know, we should have just got hot chicks from the very beginning. Now,
Even that, I don't think it would still work.
Well, that's version 3.0.
Because one thing I feel is like whenever you're like in a manly like environment, whether it's like
a manly environment. This is
Manly
GameStop. This is manly.
well, really, when it gets down to it, like the three most manly environments is like the auto store, the fucking gym, and GameStop. Those are like the three most manly places you possibly can go.
I don't know if say GameStop is manly. I'd say it's a sausage fest, but I wouldn't say it's manly.
Well, think about it. Who's the majority of people that play video games?
Males.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
there
that.
we go. So.
Not necessarily.
Well, nowadays there's a little bit more, but it's still mainly a man-like environment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yes, there's women out there that drive and fix cars too, but you see them nearly as often.
Yeah.
And I'll argue, but, well, you work at a gym, so never mind.
So yeah, a gym's another one. Like, men will flip out if there's like a woman working there. Like, I think it's just once it's like a man environment, it's like a man huddle.
Yeah.
They don't want. There's certain places in life that men don't want women.
Really? They flip out when there's a woman working behind the counter at the gym?
Well, I think here's the thing: is men when it's a place like a gym or like GameStop, or even an auto place, they want somebody who's knowledgeable. And a lot of times, women, sadly enough, that work there, they're not knowledgeable. They just kind of hire them. It's like, oh, she has a pair of tits, and like men, like they can spot that really quickly. Be like, she doesn't know anything. She's a fucking idiot.
Not all the time.
I think some
there
of
are
the
those
women that work
cases,
at
but there are others.
GameStop
Not all the
actually
time, but
pretty good.
it happens a lot though.
I think some of the women that are working at our local GameStop are pretty good. They seem to be knowledgeable. And,
Unless it's
I
a
haven't walked-
Trinity chick.
yeah.
Fucking
yeah.
annoying as hell.
Yeah. She's kind of annoying, actually. But not really.
I barely go
She's
into
nice
GameStop, so I can't
sometimes, so.
speak. Yeah.
I just all I hope for is that the fat guy's working. I don't know what the guy's name is, but I just hope
The
for that.
fag.
Literally,
He's
sometimes like
listening
I'll
to
look
this
in there,
one
and if he's
of these
not there, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go in there. Actually, maybe I'll just go to Walmart and buy it instead.
I don't think he even works there anymore.
Does he not?
I don't think so.
That's sad because that guy's been there like the whole time.
I think so. He's actually one of the few. He's like one of the workers. Was always kind of cool there.
Yeah, he's like the only guy that I feel like I really want to go in there and I trust his opinion. You know, and he won't hassle me in the corner.
Yeah.
And he won't ask me stupid, obnoxious questions.
Yeah.
And then when I like reframe a question back, they'll be confused.
There was one chick. We actually have a story about this. We'll lead into the main thing eventually. Where are we at right now?
43.
Okay, cool. We have time.
Yeah. We have plenty of time. 3-hour podcast.
Yeah. If we have the steam for it, why not? You know? No, there's this one time. It was like, did we ever tell the story in the podcast?
Is this the Super Mario story?
Not the Super Mario story. The Skyward Sword story. Did we ever say this?
I think we did tell this one.
Yeah, I think
Mario was even here too. Yeah.
The chick. Yeah. Okay. Never mind then. All right. Yeah. I'll stop there.
Well, no, continue because maybe
keep in mind, every podcast is somebody's first.
All right. Well, I'll sum it up then for those who heard it before. Generally, I had the Sonic the Hedgehog sweater. And it was just this blue sweater.
Yeah.
Whenever I wear this sweater, I don't really wear it anymore. But whenever I
got
do,
hassled all day long for it.
People
not for it, but just you got hassled.
It's like the sweater, whatever. It was like a blue sweater, and there's the fucking.
You left that goddamn fucking phone on. Like, you just cock blocked the fucking story.
Wow.
Yeah, sing or something. Keep the music.
Wow.
See, Ryan's taking the battery out right now.
Well.
There we go. He stopped the battery. Now he's grabbing his Diet Coke and he's walking over here now. Okay, he's sitting down. He's going to continue his story.
There's other things that kill podcasts.
Now turn the page.
Beep. Okay. I've like pushed the button for the sound effects. You remember those books? Yeah. No, so whenever I wear the Sonic the Hedgehog sweater, it was like a blue sweater, and it just had his eyes and his mouth and kind of like his finger, like, you know, doing the wavy the finger, like the na. He didn't say the magic word. Too slow. Yeah. So he'd do that. It had that. It just looked like it had the logo on it. So I would wear this, and for whatever reason, people would just give me attitude whenever I wore this fucking shirt. And I went into, it was like Spence, we went into, like, he's like, oh yeah, Skyward Sword, like, midnight releases tonight. I'm like, oh, I thought I had another week or so. I never ordered it. And I went in there, and I didn't have the Wii Motion, the special Wii Motion Plus, and you need that for the game. So I'll just get the special edition one.
The special edition one had it in there.
Yeah.
And then I went there, and there's this one lady, and she always kind of gives people attitude whenever she's there. She's knowledgeable, but she gives people...
She's knowledgeable, but she likes to put people down.
Yeah. Just like, you're working in the wrong fucking place, bitch. But anyway, so I go and I sit...
taking the bag and turn into a sandwich.
Turns to the coming... No. So I go and they're like, hey...
And squats down and gets like the drunk Batman costume on.
Farts out a star while she does it.
Batman reference at 45
minutes.
Well, and a Kirby reference.
Yeah, all in one. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
continue.
So I go, I'm like, all right, well, I know it's a little last minute, but by chance, do you guys have any of the special edition Skyward Sword still? It's like, no. This has been on pre-order for 6 months now, so that's why. And it's like, well, do you have, by chance, is there any of the extras? Like, no, we just pre-ordered just enough. So, but it was here for 6 months to pre-order it. It just gives me like,
it's like
arched eyebrow, kind of like then turns, walks away. It's like a simple fucking no would have been fine, you cunts.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. It's like, okay, you think you would have ordered extra ones anyways, just for the fact that if somebody pre-ordered it, they're probably going to bring their friends along who are like, you know,
like me,
and also,
who haven't pre-ordered it yet.
And also, this is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, the first like actual Zelda game for like the Wii, and like I don't know, it's a Zelda game.
Yeah, it's Zelda. It's not fucking.
Yeah, it's not
some other game that I can't think of at the moment.
It was Sonic.
We went there. They don't have midnight releases for Sonic anymore. They gave up on that. I mean, you could buy it if you want, but
like the store stays open for the Sonic midnight release, but no one's there. There's like a tumbleweed. One lonely Sonic fan just like.
That's like when Assassin's Creed 2 came out. I remember like everybody was there to go get Left 4 Dead 2, and there's one guy who was like, I'm here for Assassin's Creed.
Are you serious? No one came.
Nobody came for that one. It was one guy.
That's like my favorite Assassin's Creed. Actually,
I love Assassin's Creed. But okay, continue your story.
When we were going in, we were waiting in line. There's actually a line like some guy, like it was like you could tell it's the first time someone gave this guy some power in his whole fucking life. He walks out and says, okay. Only 2 people allowed in the store at a time. I need to see the receipt before you go in. This guy's like 18 years old.
and like everybody outside's like fucking like 20 to like 40.
Stands with his arms crossed like, I'm a bouncer today. I have power over these people.
I have power over these nerds.
This is what I live for. So before he's like, he just gets like, wait, it's like you and me are going in.
Yeah, he's like, no receipt, no game. Get the fuck out of here, boy.
And then it's like, I'm just gonna buy an Amazon now.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you just end buying at Walmart?
Yeah.
Saying like, fuck you, GameStop. I will suck the Walmart dick.
You know,
I actually went online and got it for like.
Oh, you got it online?
I got it online. It was a little pricier. It was like $10 more, but
it's worth it because that Wii Motion Plus thing's.
yeah, the golden controller.
Plus, you get a golden controller, which is badass.
Yeah.
Which I really want. There's a golden nunchuck you can get off Nintendo or Club Nintendo. Because it's like, I
need to start.
Here's the thing. I got the golden
Nintendo
Wiimote.
account.
I have the golden classic controller. I just need the golden nunchuck.
Yeah.
Because that white one looks stupid as fuck.
Gold painted, I will add.
Yeah, gold
Means
painted.
it's not actual.
No, literally on the Club Nintendo one, they have to put in small letters, this is not actual gold.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
Some like mob,
Satoru Iwata just has the gold Wiimote, so
some like backwoods family in Tennessee, like Cletus, I just got an idea how we could get rich. We only got to pay $80 for it. Quickly, get your Folgers can and get your fiddle. We gotta save up for the Wiimote.
Get little Jimmy, we can sell him. There's some lonely old man out there who'd pay $100 for him.
that was the best bit for this podcast. That was awesome.
But here's the thing. What'd you guys think of Fast and the Furious 6?
Pretty awesome.
That was a weird.
Did it blow your fucking mind?
We had to jump in at some point.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the transition. There's no transition.
I was waiting for the transition of Sonic going fast. Other
Sonic,
things that go
he
fast.
likes to go real fast. Vin Diesel, he's in the Fast and the Furious.
Holy
The
fuck.
Rock, he's bigger than average human.
Are the Fast and Furious games published by Sega?
Oh, I didn't know there were games.
You didn't know there was...
I just played Need for Speed.
They're made... I don't know if they're made by
Sonic versus Vin Diesel.
That'd be badass.
Oh.
That'd be like the
God.
race of all time right there. Versus like all the biggest people, like Sonic, Vin Diesel, Speed Racer,
No, that just sounds like a deth battle. Sonic versus Vin Diesel.
Sonic versus Vin Diesel versus Speed. It's like a giant race. Let's see, the Night Car, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think
Rider?
Sonic...
Night Rider.
I think Sonic...
Night Car.
Night Car.
It's the offshoot.
I think
Kmart version.
Sonic Team would fuck it up somehow and put
They probably would.
put Sonic in like a car.
They put like Billy the Egg Hatcher in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Which he's probably somewhere in that racer game, if I had to guess. But anyway.
But yeah, Fast 6. That's probably my favorite movie this summer.
I don't know about that. I don't know if it'd be outbeat
Like,
Pain
hands
and
down,
Game, but
I
it was
think
pretty
it's-
fucking badass.
It didn't outbeat
I
Pain
didn't
and
see
Game, but it was
Pain
a
and
good
Game
flick.
yet, but yeah.
Didn't beat outbeat Pain and Game, but it was a good flick still.
Yeah, oh my god. Fast and Furious is like, I think this franchise is hands down like it delivers on like big action set pieces.
And they just, it's strange enough that they just keep, they're still consecutively really good.
Yeah.
I just
Like, and I know, and like the writers of this film, like they know the film is stupid, and they don't take it seriously, and that's what I love about it. Just because there's not a.
I don't know. I take it seriously. I like it a lot.
Did you guys notice? I just thought it was kind of weird. Maybe I was just totally missed out on it, but the opening title is just Furious 6.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I think it's they're trying to be like
There's 6 of them or whatever.
Well, there's
Well,
the Fast
it was
5,
Fast
Furious
5.
6.
Too Fast, Too
okay.
Furious.
Furious 6 sounds like a Western for some reason. I
It
don't know
does
why.
sound like a Western.
When I saw it, I was like, oh, that sounds like a
Sounds
Western.
like Avengers.
It does sound kind of like, now for a while these movies are kind of going off, like for the last like 3 or so they became sort of like, we were building a team for like this heist or something like that, and that's what this one is. But I guess by the next one, which we'll get into the big twist at the end of it by like later in the conversation.
We'll just spoil that now.
Well, we can when we build into it.
Yeah, let's build
Yeah,
into it. 'Cause it's so
might as well
cool. You just
build
want to build into it.
Yeah.
It was pretty fucking
Which is
awesome,
one of those ones,
though.
like, if you haven't seen Fast and the Furious, you really should go see it before you listen to the rest of this. Cause
Yeah.
But the movie, one thing, because, Fast and Furious seemed like, oh, it's a Fast and Furious movie. I haven't seen the last few. Oh, you can just walk in and check it out. Not this one. They really, like, remember that drug dealer from, like, 3 movies ago? It's like, no, I fucking don't,
Well, really,
Although
ones,
I
by
think-
the 4th one, you really had to see the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, you could get away with going to number 2 or 3. You get away with number 3 because it was kind of like a standalone story. But 4 is like one of those ones, okay, now you got to kind of know these characters. And 5, you really got to know these characters. And 6, you better fucking just watch these movies.
Well, I think it's a benefit to know the characters, but like, there's a lot of people on our screening that probably haven't seen like the other Fast and Furious movies.
They better go see it.
And I think it like the reason why it's so cheesy and like they don't take it seriously, I think that's a benefit because like people can just jump into it. And
I still think you really need to like see the other ones. I don't think they're that cheesy. I take them serious.
I think they'll be confused when like Vin Diesel's character, didn't he die and then he randomly comes back in 5.
He didn't. He never died.
I thought he died.
He never died. No.
There's a character that died, and they just randomly.
Oh, what happened is Han and the
Han
Korean guy.
Yeah, that's right.
The
Han
Korean
died.
guy. He died, and then like in the fourth one, it's kind of cool because the 3 ends with Vin Diesel saying like, "Oh yeah, I was best friends with that guy." Fourth one, at the very end, they have a little. At the very beginning, they have a little like, "Oh, they used to work together." It's a flashback. That's kind of cool. The 5th one,
he's just fucking there.
It's like, oh, I guess it takes place before.
So I remember the longest time I was like, okay, either these movies are period pieces, or Fast and the Furious 3 takes place in the future.
Yeah.
Which by the end of this movie, we've learned that it takes place in the future.
Yeah, and they come back around to all that, and then like, it's like, okay, well, because I assumed by this point he would just not be in the movie, but he's like, oh no, fuck, he is in the movie again. So
He just keeps coming.
Yeah,
and he keeps saying he's gonna get the Tokyo, but he keeps getting older and older.
yeah, but he has his girlfriend though. Damn, she's like, she was the chick from the 4th one, right? She was like, she worked for the drug dealer in the 4th one. That chick.
Yeah, because then the one that was like in the 5th one that was the police officer of The Rock went with Vin Diesel. And
yeah,
I don't think I've actually seen the 4th one.
You
is
haven't?
that Too Fast, Too Furious?
No,
or
that's
is
the second one.
That's just Fast and Furious.
Because there's Fast
and the
Too
Furious.
Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and the Furious, which is number 4, Fast 5, and then Fast and Furious 6.
I don't think I've seen the 4th one.
You've never seen the 4th one? For as much as you like these movies, you've never seen the 4th one?
I think I have. I'm not sure.
They do. I'll be honest. They do kind of run together. They do run together for me.
I guess I've seen them enough that I know all the differences between them.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen 4 or 5 since the theaters.
5 is probably my favorite one though.
My favorite one is just the first one. I love that one so much.
5 just has probably one of the best openings I've ever seen for like any action.
I meant one simple is what I meant. The first one's kind of simple in a good way.
Oh, it's got a pretty good story going.
Simpleton.
Yeah.
No, the second one's more like the one's kind of simple because that's just more like it's fun, even though it's got a lot of good race scenes in it. But.
Well, it's a very simple story. You know, this undercover cop becomes part of this family. Point Break with cars. Yeah. Which by this point, even though there's car action in it, a decent amount of it, it's just more of an action film by this point.
I look at it as like a martial arts film with cars.
There's a
just
little
the
bit
way
of
cars are like flying around and stuff.
The thing
like
is, I mean, like the one that I like about number 6, I was kind of glad they put more cars in it because my only complaint to number 5 is for a Fast and the Furious movie, there's only 3 car scenes in the entire movie.
I want to say this.
I could have sworn there was more.
No, there's not. I just watched it again.
Well, you think that the ending like action sequence?
Well, the thing is, they're really big car scenes, but you know when you watch like 1, 2, and 3, there's a lot of car scenes in those ones. In 4, they cut it down a bit. There's like 4 car scenes in that one, and then there's 3 in the 5th one. I think there's about 4 big ones in this new one.
Yeah, there's 4.
And
yeah, there's the
only
part,
3.
And I'm not talking about like, oh, he's driving down the block right now.
Yeah.
There's the part. I want to say this. There's that one actor, Marley. You and me both laughed when we saw him. I was more laughed. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? There was that one guy who's just ridiculously ripped.
Just the guy that's pretty much just like competing against The Rock.
He was like bigger than The Rock when he first walked on screen.
He literally was bigger than The Rock.
Yeah.
When he came on screen, it was just kind of like, I just kind of like jolted back. I usually keep like, what the fuck? You know? He just, like, really, I say this every so often. If they ever make like a Super Mario Brothers like reboot, this guy should be the Thwomp. This guy should be Thwomp or like one of those. I was
thinking Wario.
Or one of those things, like one of those like wall things just kind of fall down on top of you. And there's a part when they were fighting him at the end of the movie, when they're fighting him on like the cargo plane.
And Vin Diesel headbutts him and...
Well, the thing about that whole part is when they're fighting that guy, it's just like... I notice it's something, maybe it happens when you get really buff, maybe it's steroid rage, I don't know. But it's something you only see it in movies. Like, alright, Here's my like an angry face. We all know what an angry face looks like. When like buff people get angry in movies, their eyes get wide, they just grit their teeth, and they just stand there in place. There's literally a part where like someone's running at him, he just grits his teeth, stands there in place, eyes wide open, just clenching his fist, like to the point like they're about to bleed, and he just like runs into him. It's just like I don't know, just like strongman anger. It's a different kind of anger.
It's controlled. Well, the one chick that was in that movie too was one of those MMA fighters. The one that played with she was working with The Rock through most of the movie.
Yeah.
I
figured because
her name was like Gina Carano.
Okay, I figured she was like an MMA. I figured she was something because she was like, they whenever they showed her, she was like doing backflips and kicking and all that kind of shit.
Doing a lot of stunts, yeah. So that's who that was.
Mm-hmm. And she was pretty good in the flips.
There was some awesome fight scenes with the two actually
Michelle Rodriguez,
Michelle Rodriguez and like
Gina Carano.
Yeah, I think I would feel weird, like two chicks fighting. Like, yeah, man.
I think that's cool.
On the dirty subway floor where it's so wet. Yeah. I want to say real quick though, I want there to be because generally, I mean, Tyrese Gibson's character, he makes a joke about it, but it's true though. They're kind of going against because they have their team and they're going against kind of like an opposite team of like racers.
Oh, that was an awesome bit that Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah, they all kind of look like alternate versions.
Yeah. So because they went to
Bizarro World versions.
He made that bit, but it's actually kind of true. And I was saying that before he said that. But
I was saying the same thing too. I was like, they do kind of look like that.
One thing I was thinking of though. It's kind of like, of course, the one Asian guy in the team, except Han, I mean, the bad guy team, the one Asian guy is the guy that knows Kung Fu. Now, I know, I can understand maybe that's where the first place your mind goes, but at the same time, let's mix it up, Let the one Dutch guy in the team be the Jeet Kune Do master, and the Asian guy is, I don't know, like communications or something like that.
Why is Ludacris...
He's like a pro football player.
Why is Ludacris like the tech guy? I don't think
fine.
Ludacris knows anything about tech, so they're kind of switching.
He's a music guy. He can mix that shit.
I will say though, like Ludacris. Okay, when he has his afro and Too Fast, Too Furious, he's like, oh, he looks like a pretty cool guy. But when he kind of cuts his hair, it's like, oh, he looks kind of nerdy though. I'm not gonna say it's like a bad thing, but he just like he does. Like once you get rid of that afro, it's kind of like, oh, he just kind of looks like a nerdy black guy now.
Second one is the only one I have not seen.
You haven't seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
That's the only one I haven't seen.
You should go your way and see it. It's probably my least favorite, but still pretty good.
It's probably the worst of like the...
Probably the worst, but I wouldn't even say worst because that's still like a negative term. I'd say it's like, it's just not nearly as good as the other one. It's still a pretty good movie.
Well, we all know the reason why I didn't see it.
What?
Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah. I know that's kind of the thing. It's like, you really have to go in there being a Paul Walker fan.
Yeah, which,
Really, Paul
Walker?
Walker?
We got one, Paul!
Well, Paul Walker, like, I always felt like, okay, in the modern Fast Furious movies, not nearly as much, but in the old ones, he was literally like the guy thrown there, like, hey, white people, there's your relatable character.
Kind of is.
Because when you kind of watch those movies, especially at first, like, being like, I remember like being like about 13 or whatever, like, whenever they came out, and you just kind of like, white kid who, like, his background of music is only, like, classic rock and stuff. You kind of go in there, it's like, whoa, this is very urban. You're like, oh, this Paul Walker somebody I can relate to.
I kind of forgot how 90s he looked once, because they had flashbacks to the other one, like, for the opening credit sequence. Like,
well, because he has, like, this, like bleach blonde surfer
like,
hair.
Bro. Yeah, I kind of, when you see him after a while, you kind of come accustomed to the way they look. So now you see him, like oh, wow, he really was like he was very 90s back then.
It was like, 2001.
Yeah.
And then, like, like, the last hurrah of the 90s, in a sense.
Yeah. He was, because white people, he was the relatable character for white people.
He was like the last one, like, rocking the surfer haircut, like, we ain't going down without a fight, bro. But I'm glad they had The Rock to this franchise, because The Rock is...
and the one that I love, you get a Rock movie every month nowadays. The Rock comes by and he delivers a present. Sometimes he gives you 2 movies a month.
Yeah.
If you've been real good.
2 movies a month.
Yeah, when G.I. Joe came out, there was that other Rock movie where it was about him trying to get his son out of prison or whatever.
Rock and Son. No,
Faster was like 4 years ago.
Oh, Faster's badass. I love Faster.
No, I don't remember what it was. It was
Rock and Son.
Yeah, it should be called Rock and Son.
As long as he doesn't star in the Tooth Fairy. So
no, they all have that.
I mean, here's like, if you do one family movie every once in a while, I don't have a problem if somebody does a family movie, because you know what? Some people have kids or whatever, they want to just do a family movie. That makes sense.
Or he owes the government some money.
As long as you're not like Robert Rodriguez, though, who wants to do a family movie every other movie.
It's like, come on, man.
It's like, dude, okay,
Spy Kids 5.
a couple Spy Kids, whatever. That's one thing. But he's done about like 6 family movies.
Yeah.
And he just
He
finally
has kids.
We'll come to Machete Kills later because
Machete Kills. Maybe we'll just do a little like intermission with Machete Kills because that was fucking badass.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And
good.
it's like I've just seen these teaser posters for like 2 years or something, and there's just also like, here's a trailer.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I saw one Machete Kills poster, just picture Danny Trejo's face, like his teeth, his eyes wide open, teeth like gritting, and just like Machete Kills.
Well, I saw that one, and I saw the Lady Gaga one too.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's happening. That's good. We got some time, and then this trailer, I'm like, what the fuck? This is already coming out, So I was
in August.
Yeah, I was expecting.
It's right around.
It did just kind of hop up. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of bothered me a little bit that Lady Gaga is in this film, but then I kind of thought about it, and Robert Rodriguez actually he incorporates kind of that pop culture like element.
Well, what I like about Robert Rodriguez though is he can take either one, actors who haven't had work in a long time, actors who nobody wants to hire them, or people who aren't even actors at all, and do a really good like creative job with them. That's what I kind of like about him.
Yeah.
He will take somebody, you'd be like, what the fuck? I would never go see a movie with this person in it, and then you'd be like, oh, Lindsay Lohan did a fucking great job.
Yeah. I think she was method acting. I really think she was at a meth lab and they just found her. Like, all right, here.
She's pretty much just playing herself, though.
But see, Robert Rodriguez knows how to use those people right, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's so bad because he's got fucking Charlie Sheen in it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And he didn't even say he has like a fake. He's going to have a
Charlie,
different name.
or it's like Carlos Estevez.
It's like, introducing Carlos Estevez. Like, he looked like he was like a senator with like a machine gun or something like that.
So it's like that like sells it for me like no other.
I like how they just introduced that trailer. It was like before like all the big like the other trailers.
It was like Danny Trejo was just like yelling at you at the audience.
Well, it's one of those things like one of those exclusive things like, hello, I am Danny Trejo, and here's a sneak. Oh, Danny Trejo's.
They probably just went together because like Michelle Rodriguez. I think that's like the connecting tie.
At least it wasn't a Les Miserables.
Oh yeah.
I'm Danny Trejo, and I'm here to tell you about you should get Les Miserables like Blu-ray and DVD. Hugh Jackman said this would be great for my career.
If you know what,
I'm actually in the deleted scenes.
If Danny Trejo superimposed Danny Trejo as every character in Les Miserables, I would see that shit.
Don't even superimpose, just remake the movie and have him like play every part.
Just every part.
The one-man show.
Just like superimpose his face and that little girl like who's crying on the cover,
Yeah.
No, but anyway, back to Fast 6 though. This flick I thought was actually, it was pretty awesome. It was, a standard Fast and the Furious movie, and
I don't know if it's standard.
I
think it's pretty different than the other ones.
It felt like a Fast and Furious movie, but parts of it, let me put it this way, it felt like a Fast and Furious movie. It had the same vibe and tone to it, but yet at the same time, it's kind of gone to that point, like, they even say in the movie, like, we've been gone from stealing DVD players, and we're bringing down this fucking plane. And like, they looked like they were kind of on the set to G.I. Joe in a few scenes.
Yeah. Because there's just like huge like armies and stuff.
And I was kind of thinking, even though I was enjoying the films, like, this is definitely like a big sequel. Because, you think back, like, oh yeah, simple street racing. Now at the point, we're on this advanced military base, there's all these soldiers running around, we got all this high-tech gear.
Yeah, when they took down that plane and was leading up to it, it kind of, I'm not sure if you guys played Uncharted 3 or something like that. It reminded me of the scene from...
we've got PS3.
Yeah, it reminded me of the scene from Uncharted 3 where Nathan Drake, like the main character, he's like in this plane, he's like fighting dudes in it, and he like hangs out the plane and stuff like that, and you're like, I don't know.
Which that whole
I'll show it to you guys sometime. So
that whole scene is cool in the movie, but I'll say how many? I mean, maybe it's a special type of runway, but how many runways are 15 miles long?
Yeah. I feel kind of bad though for the pilot guys because these guys were just hired contract workers.
Yeah.
You know they had nothing to do with this. Just be like, hey, here's an easy job. You get paid, $2,000 each. You just gotta fly this giant cargo plane. Oh, sure, fly cargo plane.
Well, it looked kind of.
And then it's just like at the end, it's like, fuck.
I'll say something about that whole bit though. When the guys were playing, they're like, all right, we just gotta pick these guys up. We're going. They're just flying. Like all that banging around. It's like, hey, you kids, keep it down back there. They didn't look that fazed by it at all. They're just like, hey guys, come on.
They said you don't say anything, and we get an extra $2,000.
Okay, it can't be nothing that bad. It gets bad. So like fucking Vin Diesel just busting through the front in the car.
In the tank scene, like the one thing that kind of bothered me during that scene, I love that scene, like the whole tank on the freeway, but Ludacris.
That's just water, I think.
Ludacris is like
So I was looking around like a cat.
Ludacris is
like the main like tech guy, and like in that tank scene, it kind of bothered me. He just has like these walkie talkies, like in like these other scenes he has like these 7 like monitors and like telling like his like where this guy is, and then like during the scene, walkie talkies. I'm just like,
but they're on location.
No, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. Just like
it was all his tech they were using. They kept the special like gizmos and all that.
I don't know.
Now, what did you think about that bridge in Spain? I've never seen that in a movie before. Let alone I've never seen that anywhere else. That's a fucking huge bridge.
Yeah, that's a huge.
I thought that was an awesome area to shoot at. Like I was really impressed with that. Like
that was pretty
choice.
cool. And the way they got it, like they flipped the car off the edge. It kind of was an anchor to stop the tank.
Yeah, to flip the tank over.
Yeah.
And I like the slow motion in it too because I think it was used well.
You know what? Wasn't used that often too.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing about slow motion is you just got to be careful how much you use it.
Unless you're Zack Snyder, you just use it all the time.
Yeah, even Zack Snyder. Sometimes I do feel like even him as much as I love that guy. Sometimes I feel like you could cut back a little bit on. Like I think it's in The Watchmen. He's like, okay, it's fine for a couple shots. Okay, he gets thrown out of a window. That's a fine place for slow motion. You know what I mean? Because when you get thrown out of a window, you want to see all the details.
Yeah,
but not everything needs it though.
Or in Sucker Punch, where the whole movie was in slow motion.
Sucker Punch is amazing though.
Yeah,
I think that I haven't really seen a whole lot of. I think he's cutting back on the slow motion for Man of Steel. We don't know until it comes out, but I haven't really seen any slow motion in any of the trailers. Yeah. Or you saw slow motion in his other trailers. But something I want to say real quick about I thought the villain for this one one thing I thought the Fast and Furious always kind of lacked was for the most part were the villains. I always thought the villains were kind of lame. It was like stereotypical, like
still Vin Diesel in Fast Furious 1.
He was. I guess he's sort of a villain.
He's sort of. He's the guy he's going after, I guess. I mean, really, the villain's probably like the Johnny, like Nitro, whatever the guy's name is.
The Asian guy was all right, but it was more like
When he's like, "Dad, bail me out!"
He like slaps him.
Son, you a fucking idiot!
I think for a villain, like for the next one at least, Razor Callahan needs to make like a appearance. He was in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Like,
he was Razor Callahan?
He was in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Did you play that at all?
No.
Well, Most Wanted was like famous for like these like live action like cutscenes.
Oh, cool! Okay. Like Red Alert. I love when they have live action cutscenes in video games. They almost never do that anymore.
Razor Callahan was probably like the most cheesy like video game villain like ever, just because he was like I don't know, like these because like these like live action cutscenes were like cheesy because there's like talking to like the gamer,
pointing and like making eye contact with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see him make an appearance for some reason.
You see Bowser standing off from the background, like that guy is fucking cliche. No, but
one thing I thought was really cool. I like how like it was kind of in Europe, and they actually because Fast and Furious never really had this too often before. They never had that many European cars in there.
No,
that's one. I mean, like they had the Ferrari that they raced against like in the first one. You see a couple there, but there's a lot of BMWs. There was Porsches. There's all kinds of cool stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I thought
more Ferraris. Even though the funny thing is the 007 Aston Martin was in there in the background, but it's like one's like if you got that in there, wouldn't you want to just like kind of push it kind of in front of the camera a little bit more? Like you don't just go like. It's like, there it is.
Yeah.
We got a couple guys standing in front of it, and there's like a Ferrari blocking it partially.
Maybe they'll just say, just watch Skyfall. Yeah. That's what the Aston Martin's in there.
Use the Aston Martin better than that. But, I thought the villain was actually pretty good, though, because he wasn't like the most amazing villain on screen or nothing, but I think he's better, because usually it's like, okay, generic, drug dealer number 1, generic Russian drug dealer
angry
number 2.
Angry black guy with mohawk who goes to, like, cockfights.
Yeah, they're always just very kind of, like, stereotypical. I thought this guy, he was still a little stereotypical, but he was actually kind of, I like the whole part one of them said, like, oh, these guys are such common criminals. Yeah, well, they almost cost their ass, so show them respect like they deserve.
That was a good line.
It's kind of like, it just kind of shows, okay, this guy, even though he definitely like kind of like breaks a lot of the rules, he has
a code still.
He has like a faint code,
honor.
Yeah. So I like that part of it. Though I'll say one thing that just seemed kind of funny to me was when they actually go and they get Joanna, what's her name? Vin Diesel's sister.
Yeah.
When they go,
Brewster?
I thought it was Joanna Brewster. Yeah. When they go get her, they say he's like, what happens is, oh yeah, I can go attack your family anytime I want. And by this point, Paul Walker had a kid with Joanna Brewster, and there's a part where like they actually get the bad guy, but the bad guy could almost get away because it's like, well, I have some men over there. It's funny, of all the people you can have to go get this chick and this baby. Who do you send? We're gonna send the huge big buff guy.
Well, so they go through a door and lock it. He just runs through it like fucking Juggernaut.
He doesn't have to. He'll just run through it. No, he doesn't even run through. He just runs through it, stops, just falls over, like crashes through the door, gets up, does that in each door. stops. Doesn't have the momentum. Just stops, leans
Falls.
forward, just falls through the door.
Like the brick thing in Mario.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The thwomp. There's the thwomps, and then there's those things. What are those things called?
I don't know what the brick things are called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The slabs. I don't know.
The slab.
The slab. He'll play the slab in the next live-action Mario game.
No.
Movie.
Just put that food like in a gray foam suit. It will work. Now I guess we probably cut in the big one, which is like the very end of this movie, because it ends like, I'll say this real quick. The last couple of Fast and Furious movies, they always end like, this is our last job. Here's the family cheering to beers and all that. Cut to credits, and all of a sudden, like, Letty is still alive. Holy fuck! They always do that with each movie. It's like, this is the last movie, and like, oh, wait a minute. This one, they do that, but then like after Justin, like directed by Justin Lin, pops up. Like I think a few more things. Then it cuts to like the scene in Tokyo Drift where Han
gets
dies.
killed, yeah.
They show it from an angle we didn't see. We see because his car gets hit by another car. And before the other guys come by and shoot the car, someone gets out.
You never see who it is. Yeah.
You never see. Yeah, somebody gets out and throws like the cross necklace that Dom has, Vin Diesel has in the movies. He throws it by Han and pulls the phone. He's like, "It's Jason Statham."
And you're like, "Oh my fucking god!"
And he's like,
our audience went absolutely crazy.
Well, I'll say this: I enjoyed the movie, but I'm not saying they're dumb for liking the movie, but like. Our audience is pretty fucking brain dead that night.
Well, yeah.
And I think, here's the thing, though. I will say, since we sat so close in the movie theater, I will say that I don't know if the movie was just louder because we were closer, or the movie was just louder in general because they were like, "Oh no, old people are going to show up to this."
Yeah.
But I will say, being up a little bit closer kind of faded away that back audience a bit, I will say.
Well,
I could still
think it's
hear him,
because
and
no
there was
one-
one loud guy at the back that I felt like had about 4 beers before he came in here. Because you'd be like, "Oh yeah! Woohoo!"
He'd be like cheering on all the small things, like when they show, because at the end of the movie, what happens is they say like, "Well, what do you want, Toretto?" Because they couldn't go back to the United States. He says like 1374 or something. You're like, what? And you see it's the old house from the first
one.
movie, and there's one guy, yeah, whoa, 1374.
I fucking live next to that house.
And like I don't think he was doing it to be obnoxious. He was just like
I think he was just really
somebody-
into the movie.
Yeah.
some car, like a car would pull up, a car like this guy like, yeah, whoa, just.
I just think the guy was
he
just like
really
a,
just drunk.
I think he was like as excited as we were to see Indiana Jones 4, but with about 4 beers in him, like tall boy
probably.
beers too.
Yeah.
I really think that's what it was.
Well, he probably didn't walk away disappointed, but yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's what I
3
think.
like Irish trash cans from Applebee's. So
The destroy your liver all at once. You know?
yeah,
It's just not worth it. You can call it those.
yeah.
Called the Apple trash can.
The Apple trash can. Have you seen what those fucking things are?
No, I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what's in it exactly. I had one
Does it have
once.
trash?
It's like
Here's what it is.
They serve it
it's
to you like in a
it's
It's the
dumpster.
worst thing. No. Here's let me explain to you. All right, there's a lot of alcohol in it. I'm not sure what exactly. To the
Irish?
rum. I know.
I'm assuming it's Irish.
to the point where the alcohol in it is where it's blue. It's just blue.
The Red
and
Bull.
there's a Red Bull sticking out of it.
the Red Bull is what makes it
I've
blue.
seen people get this before.
Yeah.
Because I've ever seen them look like, what the fuck is that?
It's called blackout. The blackout drink because you just
It's also called "Fuck My Life."
yeah.
Yeah, it really is like sounds like the fuck. I don't think that guy was that far. I think
Yeah.
he was just kind of like a little hopped up, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And
Which
just-
I don't really.
And he must have had that like Indiana Jones 4 thing, like fuck if there's trading cards, he would have
Trading
slapped his hands down.
Well, no,
Vin
if there
Diesel
was
trading cards.
Vin Diesel trading cards for Fast and the Furious, I would be the first one to buy those. Actually,
Well, another big
There's been
thing.
Diesel
but-
next to a car. There's been Diesel with his shirt off. There's been Diesel standing next to the Rock.
yeah.
Staring each other down.
I wouldn't really like care. I don't really care if people are like drunk in like Fast and the Furious movies because like these movies are fun. But like when like Indiana
I
Jones,
just like people
or something-
cheering out at the fucking screen when I'm trying to watch
Yeah,
the movie.
it's one of
Yeah.
those ones. I've kind of become that kind of person. I feel like you're at the movie theater. Be respectful.
Yeah. Well, no, if I went to the Great Gatsby or something like that, I don't really want some drunk asshole like, yeah, Leo.
I feel like it doesn't really matter what kind of movie I'm at. I just kind of. I mean, like.
Like Tobey Maguire, man!
Yeah, you narrate that scene, Tobey Maguire.
Narrate the shit out of that bitch.
Yeah, you color correct that scene, Baz Luhrmann.
color correct the shit out of it. You're gonna say something probably
Well,
more important.
it's like those ones like I don't really care what movie I go see. Sometimes I just kind of feel like I almost just wish I want to feel like there's nobody else in that theater.
Yeah, well,
I literally don't. It's like I don't mind a few bit of laughter or anything like that, but I just can't stand when people talk.
There's that episode of South Park when Cartman gets the theme park all to himself, and he's happy and content, going on all the rides himself. It is the greatest thing in the world. That's
how I feel. When I go to the movie theaters and there's nobody else there, that's how I feel.
Well, another thing we forgot to mention, I mean, you can see in the trailer, Letty, she apparently died in the fourth one, I think. She apparently died.
Yeah, so for the fourth one's when she apparently died.
And, well, she, in this one, we find out that and then the fifth one...
She actually didn't die.
And we find out why, and...
The guy could have easily shot her right in the face, but chose to shoot...
But he decided to go to cockfighting instead.
Yeah. Is that what the guy was doing?
Well, there's one scene where that guy's, he's betting on, cockfights, at this Mexican,
Yeah.
I don't know, some Mexican, it's like lunch break or something.
Yeah.
In Mexico. And he's down there, he's like the tallest guy, too. He's this big, huge black guy, throwing money down. And he gets a phone call, you need to come back and kill these guys. Yeah, sort of
So, what do we think of, giving, Letty, amnesia?
I think that's a great way to do it. I think that's fine.
I think he could have done it better, in all honesty, even though there's still, I think what he should have happened just would have made more sense, because he shot her, the aftershock of the car blowing, just shoot her back.
Oh, that scene.
That part, I think you could have done better. I think what you should have done is he should have shot her in the head. She survived, and then because you can survive that shit.
Yeah, that fucking happened to Al Pacino's character in Serpico.
Yeah,
in real life, that guy got shot in the head and survived.
So I think that I'm not going to nitpick. I'm not going to downgrade the movie for that, but I just think that would have been a little bit more logical. Should have been in a hospital bed for a while.
I think it would have been.
We're jumping how many years later?
I think it would have been fucking badass if she got shot in the spine. She got paralyzed from the waist down, and then she had to get a special car that she could control with her mind. That sounds like Fast and Furious 7.
We might reach that.
That doesn't even sound like Fast and Furious
mind
anymore.
Control cars.
She has to it's all Matrix fight. She had stabbed something in the back of her spine.
Yeah.
And the car turns on.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's a lot of cool tech in this movie too, the whole computer chips they would throw in the car and get to stop it.
That was kind of the things in Too Fast, Too Furious that they use.
Mm-hmm. I'll say I want to go back to this real quick for a second, because at the end of the fifth one, Vin Diesel gets the Brazilian cop to go with them. And
that chick is the best girlfriend you possibly could have.
Well, here's what I think. It just because what happens is Letty comes in, she's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't give a shit. It's cool. We had a good time. We fucked like crazy for 2 years, but it's downside. But she came back. I'll just walk away. It's not a big deal. It's kind of what if Vin Diesel?
The Rock needs somebody. Clearly, the last person failed on him.
What if it's just one of those things? Just kind of she.
Decided just to
what if he just keeps both of them?
Family.
Paul Walker just looks at his one wife and his kid. He's like, fuck. He's Vin Diesel just smiles and nods, credits. If you break her heart, I will fucking kill you.
Just stand there, both the arms around both the chicks.
They're all kissing his neck while he's just not a big deal. It's I'm Vin Diesel. This shit happens every day.
And the credits roll and says birth control. Don't be like Paul Walker and don't use it.
This shit was unplanned, man. Can't go racing anymore because I got this fucking kid.
Until he's old enough to drive for me.
Yeah. That's gonna be because we're at the point where series just don't die; they keep on going. I wonder if we were just that kid, Jack McClane, that shit.
Well, I think I will say though, in recent times though, a lot of back in the old days, series kind of seemed to decline as they went on. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but
this series seems to
But this series seems to be just as it almost gets sort of
it started out neutral, with the Fast and the Furious. Now it just keeps getting better.
Well, the first one though is fucking amazing.
First one's really good.
The first, and then it's the second one kind of dips down, and the third one comes a little bit up. Mm-hmm. And then as 4 and 5, they start climbing back up.
They get better, yeah. From 4 and 5 and 6.
They're just better and better. And, there's a lot of series out there. You can even look at the Harry Potter ones. They're all pretty, good. You can look at also
pretty good transition there, Spence.
I don't know.
Fast and the Furious to Harry Potter.
What other movie comes out that's there's 8 of them?
Look at Fast and Furious. Go on Fast and Furious on Amazon. Recommended for you. Oh, Harry Potter. Right.
Because you like movies that have a lot of sequels.
But yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's no.
I see what you're saying.
Maybe there's not that many other ones.
Too. I was just
because there's 007's the oldest one of they keep making movies of.
Yeah. That's a good example right there. But no, I think this is a pretty good flick, and I'm just imagining. I'm wondering how that conversation went. I mean, apparently it went better than this, but I can only imagine like just Vin Diesel giving that girl like just the toughest talk. He's like, "So, what's the deal with the girl?" It's like, "All right, well,
this chick I loved since I was 2 years old. Apparently not dead."
Yeah, it just goes like, "Listen, man, let me."
She may have some amnesia, but that's good. Yeah. So,
well, he's like,
because when I fuck her brains out, it means
every time I come, she remembers just a little bit more. No, but he's like, so she's like, so what did, this is my Brazilian accent, so what are we going to do, Dom?
That sounds so French.
It does. He's like, let me tell you how it goes, alright? You ever have that thing where it's like, I really like Coca-Cola, but I'm going to try Pepsi. You have Pepsi for about, 2 years? 2 years, that's how long we've been together. Like, I'm going to go back to Coca-Cola now. How's that sound?
I kind of grew up with it.
Yeah. I'm just coming back around. It was nice, but I like Coke.
Comes out with new flavors every single month.
Yeah. It's like, it was always here. I always liked it, and it's kind of back now, so.
I mean, like.
Get your shit and leave.
She's like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that they avoid the drum. And another thing I liked about it was the whole, because, they had the whole, like, The Rock is always kind of like, I'm going after you, like Vin Diesel, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you when it happens. This movie is kind of like, they're not buddies, but they have, like, this mutual respect for each other by this point. And they know when to stop it. I like when they know when to stop. We don't got to keep on pushing this rivalry bullshit.
Well, I felt like it was
kind
of
the introduction to The Rock. That's probably one of The Rock's best scenes is when he's interrogating that guy and just throwing up against the wall.
Shit out of this guy, just like that's his thing.
That's not. Like, originally, it was written. He was gonna go in there and just like talk to the guy. Rock just goes and grabs the actor. Whoa, what the fuck? Just starts chucking the guy around. Well, I like Rock. What are you doing? Like, hey man, like it's not in the script. Well, it is Tuesday. Keeps on throwing the guy up against the wheel. Yeah.
I could see Justin Lin like doing like that was the audition for that guy, and like they used like the audition tape for that scene.
You see why his performance is so good is he didn't know if this was gonna fucking happen. He didn't read the fine print. Good thing we filmed the other scene before this one.
He's probably not gonna come back again.
The Rock came back and brought him like some flowers, said he was sorry, but he
How
said
did you say no to The Rock?
Yeah. He said no, he's not paying for his medical bill either, though. He bought those flowers. Come on.
I mean, fuck, no medical bill. Oh yeah, he's dead. I'm sorry.
Any other thoughts on this before I want to actually talk about
Two Guns?
Well, we talked about Two Guns. All I can say about Two Guns. Well, do we have any thoughts on this before we jump to the trailers or anything?
Not really.
I really like this movie a lot.
I like this movie a lot.
I was more. I knew it was gonna be a good movie, but it was like it blew my mind even more than.
I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good flick.
I haven't seen Pain and Gain, so this movie is definitely my movie of the summer. So.
Well, what other movies did come out like this year? I'm just trying to think that we thought was really good movies. I would say Pain and Gain, Oblivion was really good.
There's a dry spout in there because I know for a few.
My mind always has a dry. For some reason, I kind of just forget.
Yeah.
Like what
I haven't seen Oblivion yet.
Well, I will say like The Last Stand.
Last Stand.
That
Oblivion,
was more fall, wasn't it?
No, it came out like January.
I'm running through the episodes. of our podcast. Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad was really good.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
It was alright.
We had a cheese
really
factor, but it
a
was a
lot.
fun movie. I really liked it.
Oh, Olympus Has Fallen. I really like that one.
Olympus Has Fallen. We saw
what
that
the fuck?
one.
What was the Stallone's one called again? I'm drawing a blank.
Bullet to the Head.
Bullet to the Head was really good.
Yeah, Expendables 2 was summer. That was episode 11
the movie you got on
15.
Blu-ray like this year.
That was episode like 15 or 17 or something. All right.
So far this
Iron
year,
Man 3.
it was okay.
That was all right.
I don't know if I'd put it in my list.
Yeah. I'll put it on my list. I kind of like some of the comedy, but I didn't read
I don't
the
like
comic.
that's the thing. Is like, yeah.
Well, I didn't read the comic, so I don't really.
I don't even
have,
read the
like,
comic either, really, for Iron Man. It's just I know of him from like the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I read a few comics, but it's over. It was more than anything. Just we've said this a bunch of times. We'll just say, it was just too much comedy. For
Yeah,
me.
you can check out the Iron Man 3 podcast if you want to hear more on that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Whatever. There's been a bunch
Talk
of good
about the
movies, I
trailers,
guess.
Two Guns looks pretty good, and that's
What's that one again?
that's the Marky
That's-
Mark and Denzel.
What the-
Denzel.
Okay, what the fuck is that movie about?
It's about a DEA agent and like I think it's
And another agent, and somehow, some way, they get like
they think they're conning each other, but they're actually they realize, oh, they're on the same case.
Yeah, just somebody fucked up and put these two guys like undercover.
Why not just get Hank from Breaking Bad for the DEA? I want to see him make an appearance.
Hank from
I like Marky Mark more.
That guy gets fucking shell shocked. He acts like a badass, but he sees Danny Trejo's head on a fucking turtle. Oh, I can't go out there anymore. But anyway.
No, that movie looks really cool though.
Well, it looks cool because what it looks like kind of like an old school 70s action film. It has that kind of like Sam Peck. I always go to this guy, but I think he's the best example. Sam Peckinpah, kind of 70s, like, Bring Me the Head of Fredo Garcia, The Getaway, Wild Bunch, kind of, and then maybe even like Bullet, like Steve McQueen, I just think this looks like one of those kind of movies, and we haven't seen one of those in a while. Faster,
Faster is a perfect example.
This looks like kind of like a movie like Faster, so I want to check this one out because I always like kind of like those back road out in the middle of the country action films. They have that dusty vibe to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the another trailer we saw.
What about the new Wolverine one?
I was about to bring that up. Wolverine and Marley.
I think Marvel Studios is just trying their hardest.
That's not Marvel Studios.
Yeah, it's still Fox.
I thought it was Marvel.
Well,
I saw the red thing.
Well,
it's Marvel because it's a Marvel Comics, but it's not Marvel Studios. If that makes any sense to you.
Well, I think Fox is just trying their hardest just to erase X-Men or origins or Wolverine origins from people's brains.
The trailer would lead us to believe this actually takes place after X-Men: The Last Stand. Now
I don't know.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Disclaimer that though, I don't care.
Probably like X-Men.
The X-Men movies, as far as any of the Marvel series go, I like those ones more than I like any other Marvel movie they've made.
I think I would have liked this one more if Darren Aronofsky was actually still on to direct it.
If he was on this shit, this probably. I mean, I still want to see this movie, but if he was making it, this is probably like the Dark Knight equivalent to Marvel stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think he dropped out actually because he wanted to do the Noah's Ark film.
He dropped out because he realized he'd have to be away from his family for a whole year, and he didn't want to do that. So he went to he's doing Noah's Ark, which is in his own backyard, I guess. But
he's just gonna fucking flood his pool.
I can see that.
When I moved here, there's this big ass boat in the zoo right next to us. I'm surprised I didn't put this together sooner. Russell Crowe's my neighbor too. How about that? Russell, what are you doing later today?
You want to shoot a Noah's Ark movie in my backyard?
But anyway,
I don't know. It looks all right. It's just
really. I think it actually. I really like. I like the last Wolverine one. I like the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. I like Hugh Jackman in Wolverine. As long as it's not Les Miserables and he's talking to me like I really care about this. I'm like, no. Unless you're gonna be talking about the Wolverine trailer, I don't care.
I think it's. I mean, I never really read a whole lot of X-Men, and I always liked the Wolverine character a lot. I think Old Man Logan's probably one of my favorite comic books I've read. But this flick, though, I don't really know. I saw Silver Samurai. Beyond that, I don't know who anybody else is aside from Wolverine.
There are a lot of those kind of Wolverine characters, and the Wolverine characters aren't they don't jump to a bunch of regular X-Men characters. Mm-hmm. They're kind of their own characters, and a lot of them are a little bit more realistic characters, I guess, not so super mutants, I guess you could say.
There's a reptile chick I saw. Do you know who that is by any chance?
Reptile chick?
She had a long tongue, and she was pulling a layer of skin off her face, and she had another.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the trailer looks pretty cool.
Sometimes those movies, until you see their name, you're like, oh, that's who it is.
I'm kind of wondering if he was fighting, because at the end there's a CG samurai he's fighting. I'm wondering if that's Silver Samurai in a robot suit, or if that's just
that's on that. I like that too. It's like Silver Samurai is just a regular guy.
But it looked like there's a part where he's fighting a normal samurai. So
I saw that too, so I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that's probably Silver Samurai because the only powers that Silver Samurai has, he just has the power to take whatever object he technically has in his hand, which he uses a sword, and make it the strongest metal ever, so it can cut through anything.
Oh, okay. So he's a mutant, actually?
Yeah, he's a mutant.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's what his power. He's kind of like Gambit. He has the powers he only uses the sword, but technically he could pick up a DVD rack and slice that through somebody.
Mm-hmm. I wish you would utilize that more with Gambit. Just whatever he grabs.
I think that'd be cool if they used that where he just grabbed shit and just started chucking it, like that guy in fucking Ong Bak, but with Gambit.
Well, that's funny. That part in Ong Bak. Have you seen Ong Bak, Marley?
I've seen.
Have you seen that guy's martial arts skill, which is just throwing tea sets, tables, and anything that gets in his hands?
Well, that part was just kind of dumb because he just fought this really badass Asian dude with an afro that was kind of fought like Bruce Lee. He fought some other guy that was real badass. All of a sudden, this white dude comes walking out.
It's supposed to be everybody's oh my god, this is gonna be fucking.
And he's like, it's Mad Dog! And they back away, and he puts out his hand. He just starts he just starts literally just chucking shit. That's his whole fighting
I didn't
style.
even know there was a dining room in that place until that guy came along. Then he just starts jumping down, like throwing teacups at
Yeah,
him.
he gets to the point where he's just throwing teacups at him. Just like I think Tony Jaa's fighting. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?" You can see this look on his face as he's blocking these tea.
This is martial arts style.
Yeah. Then like he gets to the point he grabs the fucking like air vent from like the air conditioner and tries to chuck it at him.
Whatever's in his way, he'll chuck.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't see a trailer for this one.
The Superman Unbound one? I mean,
What
not
about,
Superman Unbound, I mean Superman, the new one.
What about
Man of Steel?
Lone Ranger?
Lone Ranger actually, you know what?
You know what? The more I see
think-
it, I still think it looks like it. I think it'll probably be pretty fun. I mean, it's not going to be like a complicated movie.
I think Johnny Depp he's gonna be. I'm gonna have to grit my teeth throughout the entire.
To me, when I see Johnny Depp, I just feel like there's nobody else think this is racist. There's
Yeah,
nobody else.
That's exactly what I'm
Okay,
saying.
Tropic Thunder's one thing because it's a comedy. That's what's supposed to be funny about it. Robert Downey Jr.'s playing a black guy. But when you kind of do it like in a serious movie, I mean, I say Lone Ranger being serious as in it's not supposed to be a
It's
comedy.
taking itself serious.
Yeah. It just to me it just kind of comes across as kind of like
Yeah, very racist. And
yeah.
it's like a Native American Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
I wonder if like Lou Diamond Phillips saw this like those cocksuckers.
He's stuck in whatever that TV show is that has that same
man.
heavy trailer music.
Yeah, like whenever they use like that TV show, I don't know what it's called, but like the chick that played
Some cop thing.
chick, there's like some like country cop thing. The chick that played Tess Mercer in Smallville's in it, and Lou Diamond Phillips is in it. And then whenever they use they use a song, they use the song "Short Change Hero" by the Heavy. Whenever they use a song by the Heavy, it's either "Short Change Hero" or "How You Like Me Now."
Yeah.
They never mix it up. They have a lot of great songs, but anyway, that's besides the point.
And they use those songs a lot too. It's like you
Yeah.
can pick something else.
I
You
don't
can
know,
be creative.
I'm excited for Lone Ranger though.
No,
Because I really like Armie Hammer.
I
And
love westerns.
And Gore Verbinski is probably the most. I say this every single time. He's the most underrated Hollywood filmmaker.
Now, what
making
movies has
films
he
right
made?
now.
he did.
He did Rango, which
I did
if
see
you-
Rango, but
you need
I
to
heard
see
good things
Rango.
about it.
Rango's
Rango
good.
is really good.
He did the original. He did the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, but he also did Mouse Hunt. And he
That's
did
the same director on all three of them?
And he also
I did not know. I
He
thought
did-
that was a different directors.
he did
Yeah.
Mouse Hunt. He did the Mexican.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mouse Hunt, you wouldn't think it sounds dumb, but it's actually a funny movie.
No, I
still
had
liked
the
it.
movie on
It's a-
VHS.
That's a good kids movie. It still is good to this day, I think.
Yeah. Really, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are like his most like.
Now, did you do the fourth one too?
He didn't do the fourth.
No,
Okay.
Rob Marshall did that one, which. Yeah.
Director of
Cringe.
Nine. Not
Cringe.
Sackman. Not,
Oh, I like the fourth one more than the third one. The third
yeah.
one's the only Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I mean, maybe if I went back and looked at it again, but because I've only seen it since theaters, but I didn't really like the third one very much.
didn't
I like
the
the
I like the
mermaids.
first one a lot. I think the second one's good. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's good. The third one, I think, was just okay. I mean, I bet you if I went back and looked at it, I'd be like, okay, maybe it's a little bit better than I remember. Because I felt maybe if it was in a negative place, and a negative place, a state of mind, man, like, fucking just wasn't there. I was just looking for Keith Richards the whole time. It's
yeah, you were just kind of waiting
like,
for
where
Keith
the
Richards.
fuck is Keith Richards at now?
They just give you Keith Richards right in the fourth one.
Here's 2 minutes of Keith
And
Richards.
the fourth one, I thought that one was good, but not as good as like the first two.
I think it's better
don't
than the
know.
second one.
The fourth one?
I
like
I
the
would say
second
it's about
one
on
for some
par with the
reason.
second one.
I like
Yeah.
the second one for some reason. Probably because I saw like the special features and saw how they did Davy Jones. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Well, the first
So-
one, the first one's one of those movies like. You could say, oh, Johnny Depp, Disney, who gives... You could say all that, summer blockbuster. I don't give a shit. First one, that's like a near perfect movie.
Yeah,
That's-
no,
that's a-
that is
it's
actually,
near
as well as
perfect.
movies, like, you almost don't want to say it because it's a Disney movie for some reason that, like, you put this, like, barrier up in front of you, but no, that movie actually is really good.
that's
As
like
you
the-
say
I remember
that-
that movie came out around the same time as Troy, and this is when, like, I was a kid, and you just get dropped off at the movie theaters, and every single time I went to go see Troy, I would see Pirates of the Caribbean right afterwards.
yeah, and that was a good... That's
And
a
as
good...
a kid, you're like, fucking, you're like cracked out on, like, Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah.
I saw the first Pirates of the Caribbean like rather late. Like
You didn't see it in
like I
theaters?
didn't see it in theaters, but like I rented it from the library, and I was like, for some reason it was there, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually really really good. And then I started watching all of Gore Verbinski's like backlog.
The Mexican's a really good movie.
I
too.
love the Mexican. That's probably my
Mexican's
favorite
good.
movie of his.
But you need
That's
to
a
see
good-
Rango.
I
Rango
got-
is
it's
like-
on my Netflix queue, actually. I just haven't rented it yet. Sometimes it's like, for me, like, when I kids movies that, like, I like I know if I watch it, I'll think it's good, but I'll have a hard time, like, just trying to get to the point of, like, watching it. I don't know.
It's not really a kids movie.
No,
it's
you could call it a kids movie, but the thing is, it's also you could tell he likes westerns because he
Yeah.
makes a lot of nods. There's a part in the movie that's actually it sounds like they're being funny with it, but there's actually a scene for people who like westerns. For me, it was actually a pretty touching scene. There's a part where I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he goes to this part of the desert where you see what you need to see, and he's kind of at the downer point of the movie. And he goes out there, he sees the man with no name, and the man with no name gives him a pep talk. It's not really Clint Eastwood, but it's one of those moments in the movie. It actually is a Western fan. I was like, I'm kind of touched right now.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's almost, I'd like to see it at some point. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of how life is. There's so many movies and only so little time to watch them all.
Yeah.
But Army Hammer and Lone Ranger.
I don't know. I guess, what's Army Hammer?
That's the guy actor's name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, this movie sounds badass. Army Hammer? Like, what the fuck is this?
It sounds like a movie in itself.
It's like, how can we give our son the most badass name? Our last name is already Hammer.
So let's call him Army.
Yeah.
But those sound like Arm and Hammer.
Or just like the Cumberbatch family is just like, how do we give our family, give our son a really cool name, and he's going to be in Star Trek one of these days.
Benedict. How do we give our young chap the most British sounding name possible? Benedict Cumberbatch, I say!
Let's name him after Benedict Arnold, the traitor for the Americans. We hate the Americans so much.
I'm rusty on my history. I was like, I had my British voice ready, but I did not have a reference. Like, fuck.
It's gonna happen at some point.
But there's we didn't see
any other trailers or
we didn't see a trailer for, but I want to mention it. The new Man of Steel trailer came out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it looks so fucking awesome.
What's cool about this trailer? It's like they finally decided okay, let's get past the emotion stuff and what you all came here to see. Superman punching some shit or flying through shit.
Was that they showed that trailer during the Fast and Furious screening?
No.
Or what trailer was it when they showed the trailer and then it shrinks down? And
we'll get to that because I got some shit to say.
Oh,
about
that was
we'll
the
get
new,
to that. We'll get to that. We'll get because I got some fucking shit.
That was
to say.
fuck.
It was like the
I know what it is, but I'll say it in a second. Man of Steel, the new trailer, it looks so fucking badass because even though I like because you gotta advertise Superman on the motion bar, it opens up on the trailer, it's just static. It looks like a Matrix trailer. Then all of a sudden it just says like, "You are not alone," all in creepy voice, and like Jim Rosad in a pixelated picture, you can barely see him. Just is sending like a message to Earth saying, "Bring me Kal-El or your planet will die." And then it just shows a bunch of images of Superman fighting the other Kryptonians, shit exploding. At one point, this sounds like something off a metal album. You see like a picture of, you see a part where Superman is getting dragged into a pile of skulls.
wow.
That
cool.
looks fucking awesome to me. I don't know why, but Superman
That sounds cool.
This scared look on his face, reaching out, being pulled into this like pile of skulls. Just like, oh fuck.
I'm actually kind of excited to see this now. Actually.
I'm really excited to see it because I really like Superman a lot.
And they kind of have like this angry, kind of like distorted guitar throughout it. I mean, sometimes like when they throw in a guitar, it seems like we really want to get those kids.
Well,
like,
you don't want to do like the Daredevil soundtrack.
No, yeah, you don't want to do that. But they did it just right. The editing with the guitar in the trailer was done just right. And they have a part like he's punching through shit, it's like bam, bam, bam. So the S pops up right there at the end. It's like, oh fuck. I'm more excited.
Whoever's editing these Man of Steel trailers, they need to get a raise. Just because the third one was really good. Well, all of them were really great.
All four trailers are awesome. So I'm looking forward to this. Is probably the movie I'm looking forward to the most for the summer.
Yeah, I think so too.
And
well, for me it was Fast 6, but also Man of Steel.
Well, Fast 6 was in my list. It was like Wolverine, Superman, Fast 6, Pain and Gain.
Fucking
Machete.
The World's End.
World's End. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Was there a trailer for that?
Yeah, there was a
Edgar
trailer
Wright.
for that.
Edgar Wright's new movie.
Oh yeah, that was
the final trilogy.
It's
of the
funny
ice
how you
cream.
always forget like the
Blood
most
and Ice
important
Cream.
trailer
Blood,
almost.
Was it Blood and Ice Cream?
Blood and Ice Cream trilogy. Yeah.
That
I can't wait for that.
Movie is oh my god.
Did it say the date for that one?
I think it's in August.
August. Yeah.
That was the Machete one said August, and it just registered in my mind for everything.
Yeah, there's another movie we look forward to. I'm looking forward to that. And
that looks really cool.
The whole town's robots, and they're trying to kill them as they're just going from bar to bar.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like a
horror action comedy.
Yeah, and Edgar Wright is.
Well, the cool thing about what Edgar Wright does, it's like the movie's a comedy, but it's really like it's a serious world. It's just these characters are kind of comedic. Yeah. That's what I like about it. It's not like they're like in a slapsticky world. The world's the real world. It's just like the comedy.
Did
These
you
guys are
notice
funny.
that they're like pretty much using like the same actors as they used in Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz?
Well, that's the whole point.
That's part of this trilogy because it's like they're not the same.
And like the same town from Hot Fuzz too.
It's not this. Is that the same town?
I'm pretty sure it looks like it.
It's England.
England was just about to say that. Like, how the hell do we know?
It's England. We know. Something about that because like his movies, like all this trilogy, it's not the same continual story. It's just okay, a lot of the same actors, a lot of the kind of the same jokes and same themes. Because all of his movies have a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of coming around. You know, because like there's that line like in Shaun of Dead, like next time I see him, he's dead, and next time he sees him, he's a zombie. Yeah. And he's like, and there's a part where he says like leave him alone, and then like he says the one roommate to leave Simon Pegg, not Simon Pegg. With the other
Nick
one.
Frost.
Leave Nick Frost alone, and then he says that right before he kills him as a zombie, like leave him alone. He shoots him, and they have like a lot of bits like that, like in Hot Fuzz, same thing. So I think it's just these movies. It's more of like, I guess in a sense, it sounds so stupid, so art schooly, but so a spiritual sequel in a sense,
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to that.
That would look really cool.
Now here's what fucking pisses me off.
The poor Guillermo del
Pacific
Toro.
Rim.
I'll help you out in this rant.
Here's the thing. Okay, so we got this. We mentioned it before. What starts? I think we mentioned it before. Regal Cinemas usually do the beginning, but this one they did like right in the middle of the trailers. They opens up on the Pacific Rim trailer,
And
which looks cool.
they used to do it for like the last month with Fast 6.
They pretty much do it with everything now. Like if
I've
a
never
big-
seen. I've actually technically. I don't think I've seen it for that many movies though. It's mostly always the same trailer.
I see it pretty much every single time I go to the movies. But right,
With different movies though.
yeah.
Oh, okay, because I always see it. To me, it's like the only movies I really saw it as in like
Pacific
the last
Rim
while was
and-
Pacific Rim and then Fast 6 for a bit.
And what happens is the trailer's going on, and as the trailer's going on, the screen is getting smaller and smaller
And the
and
sound's
smaller.
getting quieter and
And it's
quieter.
like, for action this big, you don't need a screen this small with an explosion on the trailer, like Pacific Rim, Regal Cinemas.
Go big or go home.
And first off I say, fuck you, you fucking cocksucker. I'm already paid $10.50 for the 10 o'clock showing. You don't need to try and sell the movie theater to me.
Well,
just
that's what
play the
you're
fucking
selling-
trailer.
Yeah, it's like, why the fuck are you selling to the audience that's already here?
Well, it's like one of those things, like, because you
And
know
I want to see the trailer too. It's like I hate that they give you like the half version of the trailer.
Yeah, because what happens, that's the thing, it's me, I want to see the trailer to the movie, and they shrink it down, it gets tiny and tiny until it explodes, and then it's like, go
You're
big
just
or
like, I
go...
don't remember what happened in the rest of the Pacific Rim trailer by this point. I keep seeing this one now. I forgot what the second half of that trailer was.
Because what happens is, like, they used to show this, and just kind of like, they'd show, like, some stock footage, and, like, of, like, good cinematography, like, go big or go home, at the very beginning. Okay, cool, you're advertising yourself to me, that's fine. Don't use this movie, don't take this movie's time, and... away from. I just want to see this fucking trailer. I don't want to see your guys' fucking advertisement. Yeah. I already paid 10 fucking $50.
We're already here, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, you got.
You're advertising to the wrong fucking people.
Yeah, it's just like I kind of have that same rant for like the new Blu-rays that come out. That like instead of like
they try
have
to
the
tell you
FBI
about, like-
warning, and then they have like a piracy warning too. Like it's almost kind of like you wouldn't steal a car or something like that.
You wouldn't
But-
kill a person, would you? And you're like, maybe I would after this commercial.
But
You know what? Fuck it. I'm stealing a car, I'm killing a person, and I'm raping a dog.
Raping a human's
Maybe
worth
not.
of
Maybe
dog.
not in that order.
But
Yeah, but sure, that's
but-
gonna fucking piss people off.
have you seen like those new like DVD like before the FBI warning? It's like the piracy company or something like that. Please don't steal or something
Yeah,
like that.
I see all
Why
those.
are they telling me I just
I'm the one
spent
that bought it, yeah.
$25 on this Blu-ray? I don't want an FBI warning. I don't want like any of this. I
Yeah.
just want the movie to like start.
Before it used to seem
That
like a
used
lot
to
of
be a
these...
devil. When DVDs first came out, I just want to say this quickly. That used to be almost like the joy of a DVD. It's like they don't have trailers beforehand or ads beforehand. You just went straight to the movie. Because VHS, you always had to watch and fast forward through
Different
like
now.
3 to 5. And now it's like they just have tons of them. And sometimes
And
they
now
make
it's
them difficult
now,
to skip or like.
and now it's like when you just want the movie, it's like either Netflix or iTunes or does Windows Phone have something that you can download movies on? Is that like Zune?
You probably. I don't download movies.
I don't know.
I buy movies on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
A lot of... At first, a lot of piracy commercials, it seemed like... Kind of like, because they didn't have a lot of power. Like, hey guys, don't go pirate the DVD. It's how I make our money, and it's against the law. Don't do it, please don't do it. They seem like that at first. Now it's like, we will fuck you in your eye socket if you rob us. You know,
We will skull fuck you.
yeah.
It's like, you were just as good as these people. It shows like clips from 9/11. That's who you are. That is who you are.
Freeze on the smoke, like you could see your face in the smoke.
Lars from Metallica is just like, don't steal my...
Metallica was the whole don't download shit, right?
Yeah.
Kind of same thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then Weird Al's song, don't download the song.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no,
awesome would be if you like put
that's
that
an
song.
awesome song, but
One thing about this goes back to Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro, like, he keeps getting fatter and fatter as his movies go on, and he starts like I was watching special features on
that's
Hellboy
really
2.
mean, Spencer.
No, but he does. That's how does that mean if he's getting fatter and
I
fatter?
know,
It's not
I
my
know.
fault he's getting fatter and fatter. He looks like Peter Griffin now. If they were gonna make a live action Family Guy, he could play him.
Spanish
excluding
Peter
his
Griffin.
accent. Just he's got the glasses. He had this like shirt on. He's just a big guy. That's just one of those ones like you look at him like in like his like 1989 movies or stuff. He's just that like skinny little boy with a hat on. He's
Yeah.
like, look at me, fellas. Directing.
And Peter Jackson's like the complete opposite. He made the Lord of the Rings movies, and
He's
he's
just like, I
really
can afford
fat.
liposuction.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Just suck it out of me.
Give it to
Gandalf,
Guillermo.
just suck
They know
it out of me.
that they just it goes like in a two from him to Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
I can bring you success, but you have to promise me something in return.
But Pacific Rim, I'm excited for that too.
That looks cool.
What, is that
It
July?
looks like a Godzilla movie. That's what makes
It's
me
like a
happy.
big budget, like American-made
And-
Godzilla type flick. Giant robot monsters.
Gladys is actually the voice of like one of the robots.
Oh, that's cool.
Have you played Portal?
No, but
Like,
I know
you
what
know-
it is.
you know-
I know what it is, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Well, we ran out of things to talk about.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That portal thing just killed. No.
Great.
Spencer's
I'll just
like,
leave now.
Spencer's like, we're talking about Portal. My dick got soft.
Oh.
So sometimes I hear some of those new games. I don't know what it is. Like you get like that old man syndrome. Just be like, you played that over the new Legend of Zelda or the new Metroid or
Portal's
the new
great.
Castlevania or the new
Portal's
Contra.
Great. Portal's great.
I'm sure it's probably a good game. I used to
It's probably
play.
good. I look at the screenshots and I have no idea what's going on. So a lot of times that makes me
It's a
not.
puzzle game. So.
Yeah, so it's like to me, it's like I could kind of care
So let
less.
me
I mean,
get-
it's probably a fine game, but
Let me get this straight. So that gun shoots holes instead of death. So you shoot that gun, it makes a hole, you go through that hole. That's the concept of the game.
Yes, pretty much.
the
Okay,
same concept is how Swiss cheese is made.
You kids and your Portal games and your flippity-doo-doos and your 8-track players and goddamn. No.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a good game. I don't
No,
know.
it's pretty good. But I don't know.
But yeah,
I'm all
Yeah,
out.
but yeah.
It's my Monday. I'm out of it.
Yeah.
Machete.
What-
Machete.
Kills.
Looks
Yeah,
good.
Machete Kills.
Superman. The Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Awesome.
Man
Well,
of Superman.
we
Man of
probably
Steel.
end it
Man.
right there instead
Steel.
of saying a lot of steel.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know.
Don't
well,
steal this podcast. Please download it legally.
at oldmanorange.com
Yeah.
Or YouTube.
or
Stream
YouTube.
it.
You can stream it or download from YouTube
Yeah.
if you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about putting like pictures of like movies that we're talking about?
No, that's
No,
too much
that sounds
fucking
like
work.
that sounds like more work than needed. And
No,
plus,
yeah.
it's a podcast. It's not a visual cast.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It'd be kind of cool just like for the YouTube viewers.
You
I
can
just-
do it. You want to do it?
See, I just feel like if I put pictures up there, YouTube's gonna come back and be like, no.
Copyrighted pictures.
Yeah, this YouTube
I
podcast
don't-
cannot be seen in this, and this countries. And it's just like, okay, I just don't want to go through that hassle.
Yeah.
We're already banned in a few countries.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's
already
kinda
banned a
cool
few
knowing
countries.
Are you
for some of it.
serious?
Yeah, because of
What-
the music.
Afghanistan, right?
No, not Afghanistan.
Wasn't there like some country, like wasn't like one of the Batman videos like banned from that? I thought maybe.
No, there's some views from Afghanistan.
Oh,
I think I uploaded Snownado, the film that I did. It's really bad. If you want to check it out on Silverdome Productions, but that's actually banned in like Germany because the song that we used at the very end, it like YouTube's like, oh no, you don't.
Yeah, I think that's how some of the videos are too. It's 'cause
Well,
of
here
music.
comes old man YouTube on his crutches. Oh, you kids!
Get off my lawn.
It's
Get
not,
off my
it's not
copyright
old man
lawn.
YouTube now. It's old man Google.
Yeah.
But till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Marley Silverbrand.
And you can find your stuff at.
You can find my stuff at Silverbrand Productions on YouTube. You can subscribe to that. And I'm going to be starting a Kickstarter campaign pretty soon for a short film I'm going to be working on. But I haven't really started it yet, but stay tuned for that. So
We got to do another episode of your podcast. I miss your podcast.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's Kelsey and Jeremy, by the way.
Yeah, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe on Monday we can record.
Not Monday.
Not Monday.
We'll iron it out off
That's
off
like my
air.
only day off right now.
This is not
That's
helpful
my
for
only
the ending
day
of this
off.
podcast.
We'll let Ryan it off the air. All right, anyway.
But anyways,
I'm Ryan Dunigan. You're Spencer Scott Holmes.
We already said the names.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
backtracking.
you'll just edit it.
Picking up where we left off.
We'll just stop right here.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya.